I'm not doing this because I want to take long showers with you assholes.
Ain't you them kids that have been slacking off in my tool shed?
By a bunch of fargan iceholes like yourself.
Yeah, well, listen, you ought to ditch the geeks in the car with now and get in with us, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later.
Oh my God. There's 100 morons in my basement.
It's you. Hurry.
Mulligan. Diamond dogs have struck again.
Well, they could be a lot worse.
Why did you kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Here's your other hand. Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
4 of us wolves running around the desert together in Las Vegas, looking for strippers and cocaine. 1, 2, 3, Transformers!
Live from Scott's parents' basement, this is the Basement Benchwarmers Podcast.
The Basement Benchwarmers Podcast on Valentine's Day.
Oh, I love you guys.
I love you guys. Hearts up.
We all have hard-ons for each other.
I was like, oh, you gotta. I don't know how they do it.
This.
Oh yeah, gotta do it like that.
Yeah. So the day after the Super Bowl, which should be on a Saturday, so we could be relaxing on a Sunday, but that's not how it is. So back to work today.
You know what we could do? We could get Joe Rogan to endorse Sundays,
and then
they'll move it to Saturday,
or Trump,
or Trump
for sure.
They'll move it to Monday.
They could team up.
The whole week, everybody gets up. We'll pay for it.
So as we start out every week, we are back, and then we start out how what did everybody do this past week? So we'll start with let's curveball. We're gonna start with Willie tonight.
Oh,
all
Willie,
right.
we're gonna go the other way.
I'm ready, actually.
That's a screwball, actually.
That's a
screwball.
Screwball.
Little backup pitch there. So one of my favorite times of the decade, it's Olympic year. So lots of curling, guys. Lots of curling. Hurry, hard.
Wow, it sounds
Hey,
like
you know what the funny
sounds like a
thing?
good night.
Lucky Shauna.
Sounds like Valentine's Day.
And the funny thing is, I was watching the USA versus China, and the Chinese team, they don't use their word for hard, but they yell hard.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Howd. You know why Willie does it doggy style, right? So he can still watch curling. There was an old hockey joke or something like that.
Not the last one that meshed up Shauna's backseat. Anyway, Eric, how was your week?
I think Willie's been curling his beard a lot, though. So you're really starting to get fluffy there, buddy.
It is.
I like it.
You can hide stuff in it.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'm just glad I get to spend Valentine's Day with you three sweethearts. That's for sure. It was a good weekend. I actually won the playoff fantasy league that Scott put together, which I was very lucky to win that. But I didn't do so well in the prop bet pool. In fact, I thought maybe I would get some points for just getting my name right. Right? I mean, I finished dead last in that pool, and I mean, it seemed like I had no points.
I don't run no public school. I don't run no public school polls.
It's like the
so you ain't get points.
It's
for
like the ACT,
right.
man. I mean, I know I got 1 point right. ERIK.
CG.
What? Oh, damn it! Half a point.
Ed, how was your week?
I was going to talk about Valentine's Day, but it's, now since I'm with you guys, I got to wait until my birthday for the next time. That's in November, so kind of threw that away tonight. No, let's see. What did I do this week?
Eric give you a tugger.
Yeah, I could use a jibber.
That'd be different from what show?
You know what I did this week? On Friday, I went out with a bunch of friends. I had a few beers and went to a local establishment, and we went out with a newly single guy.
Yeah,
he was newly single, and we're kind of sitting around the bar, and he's a younger guy, and there was a little older lady. Maybe I don't know. Let's call her vintage. She was very vintage. She was pretty interested.
Let's call her Willie.
Let's call her Willie.
Wilma.
Well, she was older than Willie.
Did she have a curly beard?
I don't know. Maybe he found out later.
So, anyways, one thing led to another. He was pretty drunk, so he left with her. But I get a call yesterday during the Super Bowl, And he's like, Ed, man, I got some bad news. And I'm like, well, I know you didn't get her pregnant. He goes, no, but she gave me polio.
Come on. Oh boy!
Wow.
Smallpox.
Marco.
That smallpox.
Polio.
How was your week, Scott?
Oh, great. Fine.
Okay.
Well, come on, did you play some type of football?
Oh, yeah, I went to
You've been playing
Milwaukee.
a
I
foosball.
went to Milwaukee with Glenn. MIA Glenn.
Who's playing?
And
Sure,
we
yesterday.
went to play First and 10. It's a place in what post is that? We're right. It's like right there.
Yeah,
So-
at Mayfair Collection.
yeah, right by Mayfair, right there, or near whatever. And it's a warehouse, and you actually throw a football at bowling pins at the game.
Is it called Whirly Ball? No.
Oh, it's called First and 10. It's
First and 10. Okay.
and all you do, the bases, whatever. And we just went with 4 of us, but it'd be cool to take more couples or a group, because then what you do is that winner stays on, and you just keep playing. Probably get a couple. We only did an hour, but you would, like, if you won, just not gonna you win if you're not pins up all of them.
Cool.
But it's tough after like the first couple throws with pins up. When there's one left, it's tough. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, but you're a quarterback.
Hey, you always tell that story about you could throw a ball like 100 yards or whatever.
That's not what he said. He could throw a pair of balls.
I can throw a ball 100 yards.
That's what I thought you said.
Slap them.
Willie could run like, faster than the speed of light, and you could throw a ball 100 yards. Remember that show we had?
That was when you guys were drinking bourbon. Bourbon show. Gosh damn it.
That fucking show. Coming back to haunt us.
Wow.
Christ.
I think I relapsed a little bit. Woo.
Must have been that beer.
Anyway,
tonight,
let's preview the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl wrap up. We're going to talk a little bit about the NBA trades that happened this week.
Right.
Also, we'll talk about the MLB, but not much to talk about. And maybe talk about real early predictions for next year's Super Bowl. A couple things out there you think might be in the running. And whatever else comes up with these buffoons. So,
Yeah, we're gonna
not
have to,
you guys. There's other guys coming in a minute.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
yeah, who's the guest star tonight?
Oh, yep. Guys, get ready.
I'm ready.
Be a good one. Kyler Murray tonight.
Oh my God.
Tyler.
We're going to
Oh.
find out firsthand what's going through his little mind.
I'll get let me get a step stool for him. Does
Hopefully,
he need a booster seat?
hopefully he's not standing behind Pam Oliver. I didn't get to see him at the Bears game.
Okay, so anyway, let's start out with the how we start out get this conversation going. It's good, bad, and ugly. Good, bad, and ugly this week. Brought to you by Good City Brewing.
Oh, good.
I bought $70 worth of beer, and I got 8 beers for $70 there.
Yeah.
So actually, if you do the math, $8.70, it's not that bad.
And
It's
now
like a
you-
Chicago Paps.
Yeah.
And now you're endorsing them. Do you think you're going to get a discount or something?
Want to hear the worst story about the place?
Hmm.
So I go up to buy this beer, 65, whatever it was, $70, whatever, 8-pack or 2 4-packs. Glenn says, "Oh, I want to get a sticker." So he throws it on the counter, and he's like, "Oh, no, I'll just tell him whatever." Kid rings it up after I bought $70 worth of beer, and I go, "Oh, by the way, the sticker." "Oh, okay, $1."
Oh, you got to be kidding me for
No,
a sticker.
I'm not. I would have if I was a kid. I'm like, go, just take 5 or 6 of those things. But maybe you know
Yeah.
what? I will defend him. He probably don't. Maybe he just doesn't have the
Yeah, that's
the
true.
pull to give away
Yeah.
5 25-cent stickers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think Wolski's was charging for all those stickers?
I ain't sticking that. If you gave me 10, I would have stuck them all over town. But no,
Yeah.
guess what? I'm not going
Yeah,
to.
I
No.
mean that's
Just let
free advertising.
You know what stickers I'm seeing everywhere, especially at the gas pumps?
bench warmers.
I did that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
There were at Quick Trip today. There was like 11 on one pump.
I want to get bench warmer stickers for us.
Oh, we should. Yeah,
We-
absolutely.
That'd be
Or
awesome.
auto magnets, and then just start putting them on people's cars. Let's do it.
We could do bench warmers. I
No, no,
did that.
freak
We'll,
out.
we'll put it at like the steam bath.
Actually, that picture right there of Ed
Just that
on the sticker.
bench warmers. I did that.
We put that at
Joey,
the steam bath.
There'd be a
We're gonna
lot of
have
this going on in the bathroom.
Yeah, I know.
we put that picture on a sticker and put it at the steam bath with our name on it. We're gonna have like 100 viewers the next day.
And now I'm speaking English, but that's
So the good, bad, and ugly this week. We're going to
Cool.
start with. You guys want to start? You guys, good, bad, or ugly? We wanna start?
There's a lot of good. I mean, obviously, we just had
Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend.
Let's go ugly then.
Okay.
Let's start with ugly, and let's start with Willie. And we'll start with our gentleman.
Ugly Willie.
I said Willie.
You said that before, though.
No, old Willie, not ugly. He's a handsome fellow.
He is a good looking guy. I like the curly beard.
Well, he used to be a redhead. No, he's a
Yeah,
white
used
head.
to, yeah.
No, he's a
That's
white
what
head.
happens
Oh,
when you're a
white
redhead.
head.
You go
No, he's a
just
big
you go
six.
gray quick.
Yeah.
Once you go gray, you never go back. I don't know what that means even.
I'm gonna go out with my ugly is gonna be
We'll
the,
work on that.
the dude that ran out on the field in the hoodie
Oh,
and the
gosh.
slides.
What the hell?
That would happen to be Vernon Hargraves the third.
Yeah. Or otherwise known as Kevin Rash. Kevin
Oh,
we said it during the game. yesterday.
really?
Don't you guys know somebody wears like shorts and sandals year round? Somebody said.
Yeah.
We go. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He needs to clip his toenails too. So.
Well, he got his name. One of the few guys ever not to be playing that guy's name in the record books for the Super Bowl. The
right.
stat book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in there.
Because
That's right.
he was penalized. Well, it's not, but he was penalized for it. Oh, Kevin gave us a thumbs up. There he is.
Nice.
Look at that.
We got viewers tonight.
Yeah.
4,
Yeah, it was just at 8.
right?
We were
It was.
killing it.
Wow.
Then
And
I
then-
started talking again.
And then we decided to start with Willie on the ugly.
Okay, so Eric, you're ugly.
My ugly is what Aaron Donald did to the O line of Cincinnati in those last 2 possessions. I mean, he just got in there and made them look ugly. Yeah, I mean, it
Wasn't as big as a surprise how they beat him, but that they couldn't block that line after they needed to. Did you see the picture today? The still shot of Kyler Murray, how Jalen Ramsey fell down again, and on that last sack, they got to him so fast. Jamar Chase is wide open on the sideline.
Oh my gosh,
Hey,
one of those again.
Look it
Oh,
up. He has
I
fell
didn't see it. I
down.
did not see it.
I'm just telling you right now, if that ball would have been thrown, Jalen Ramsey would have been tight in his shoelace.
We'd have been talking about him in the ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because,
he'd be the
because he
ugly.
had a terrible game. Oh, I'm sorry.
He had some
Anyway,
rough. Yeah, yeah.
You can pick him.
Yeah.
No.
He had
But
a rough
but
kind of.
that
rough
was a
game.
picture. Yeah, still frame of that.
That's
But
crazy.
that's because you get that. The pass rush makes everybody better. It does.
It does,
It
and yeah, I
does.
mean,
Right.
It does.
and Burrow didn't have a chance to see that.
We've
I mean,
all
it's-
said this before. How do you build football to line? Your line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I
next year, the
totally agree.
Bengals are going to add offensive linemen.
Oh, they're in
one
a
or two.
great situation to build.
Yeah, I like what they got going on. Their price is cheap on their main players still for 2 years probably.
Yeah.
T. Higgins will be asking for money next year, but they can survive. Maybe go get who knows. But we'll talk more. Whatever.
Yeah.
So you're ugly.
I'm gonna go with all the celebrities not actually wearing masks, and after telling us for 2 years how bad we were for not wearing them, and then when they're out in public, they don't wear them, and they were all caught. I mean, they showed them all the time.
Yeah.
Especially like a guy like LeBron, who's really into all that stuff.
What did Joe Biden call Lester Holt? What did he call him?
And that's it.
He said something to him because he brought up something about. Well, they were talking about. It was an interview. I was doing something, making some appetizer stuff for this party, and I was listening, and it was they show part of me. But I guess later in the interview, Lester Holt asked him about inflation. And he called him something. It was like,
I remember.
Yeah,
I
Was
didn't
it a
realize it was
pony
Lester
soldier
Holt.
again,
no,
or
he
no?
called him something weird, like just-
molester.
no.
That's not weird. That would be he'd be in trouble.
So
Yeah, so I was taking the celebrities for not wearing. I mean, there's a picture of Ellen who was like almost like militant about the masks and everything.
Yeah.
And she's taking one, and
Yeah.
it's a meme going around like, look at this guy, he's not wearing a mask, It keeps it. So
hey, fella.
yeah, that's,
My ugly is gonna be. I'm just gonna keep my theme from last week. I'm Kyler Murray. He's my ugly. It's not looking good right now. Now today he came out with a statement that Ed said it right a couple weeks ago. All the stuff you hear, these guys, these inside, and this was Chris Mortensen, a guy that's not gonna, you can all think, but someone inside those
I heard this
buildings,
today.
someone inside those buildings, that someone just ain't going. Kyler Murray said, no, we've talked. Me and Willie have talked about this many times. Kyler Murray looks like he's very disinterested a lot of times in those games when they're losing. There's a rumor now that he told Colt McCoy he didn't want to go finish the game in the last playoff game. He didn't want to go on the field the last couple of series. That's a baby. And the thing is,
He is juvenile. I mean,
this was such a great thing that Cliff Kingsbury did. He drafted this guy. They're going to be a match, but Cliff Kingsbury is going to lose his job because of this guy. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be done in that city, and the guy's going to ruin it.
Unless
And
they
he
can
was-
take care of it right now. They got to squash this now.
And they maybe Murray, someone sat down with him, dude, you're being a
Yeah.
moron. You better fix this because
needs a
it
mentor
falls on you.
somehow.
And he did write a statement today.
I saw.
and it looked like
I
something
saw that.
he wrote. It wasn't like he looks like something he typed
Didn't
out.
have his PR guy.
No, it looked something legit.
Yeah,
but
because it wasn't real smart. So
yeah.
but no, I
Was it
heard it.
NFL gibberish.
I didn't mean to play. I mean, it is Valentine's Day. I didn't mean to.
You guys got your socks off over there?
I went up his leg just a little bit on accident.
Awkward.
So
Anyway, that's a good one,
That's
yeah.
my ugly. I'm just going to stick with that. I mean, I just don't like what's going on. That's a team that a few of us picked to. Well, they did make the playoffs. The last 2 years, they were the same story though.
Yeah.
Start the game out great, fall into the playoffs, and then just not look good in the playoffs. So, or actually the year before they didn't make the playoffs, but this year they did. So it's one of those things, man.
And we talked about this multiple times now. They drafted a quarterback early in the first round the year before.
Josh Rosen, yeah.
And then Kingsbury came in and he goes, I want Kyler Murray in there.
Which is an upgrade.
Which is an upgrade.
We're not
Well,
disagreeing with that. I mean,
but that's 2 years in a row. They used the top pick on quarterback. And now 3 years later, they're talking about getting rid of this guy because he's an asshole.
well, I think
That's
it's more
horrible.
him than them. Though. Basically, they probably have no intention of getting rid of him. But the problem is with him is that I don't know. And here's the thing
He's
to
a
me.
cancer. it
Here's
sounds
the
like.
thing with Kyler
I
Murray.
mean, we don't know, but
My problem with him is that he's in no position to be anything. He's not that he's good. But he's you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's not
no,
in
he's
no
not
position.
there yet.
He's
Yeah.
not a Rodgers or Brady or I think he thinks he might be. He's not even a Burrow for
no,
Christ's
he's
sake.
not a Derek Carr even.
He
you
might
know.
not even
you're
be a-
right.
Might
Derek
not even
Carr.
be a Jordan Love yet.
He can't finish. He's not a finisher.
Yeah, that last playoff. My last vision of Kyler Murray was that playoff game, and he was terrible.
Yeah.
And he can't put that on other people. He was pretty bad.
You got to take some responsibility for.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying, instead of complaining, go get better.
Yeah, and he's a young kid. And,
Yeah.
You know, but
Are we going to find out?
No,
now?
he's
I
a
hope
rich
he
young kid.
learns.
I'm not giving him
Is he a
any
rich young
latitude.
kid? Yeah.
No, I'm not giving him any latitude.
Silver spoon.
No.
He's always gotten what he's wanted.
Well,
Great
he
athlete.
was a great baseball player too.
Well,
so
yeah,
he's
he
probably-
would
he's
have been.
heard-
He would have been the number one pick there, right?
He was a high pick. Would have been a high pick for Major League. So I mean, he's like I think you said it yesterday. We were talking about this. He's been told his whole life that he's the greatest at everything.
Yeah.
And now it's not. Now he has to. Now there's a bit of adversity.
Yeah.
Because people are calling him out for his playoff
Yeah.
performance and how he plays the last
And he's
4 or
not
5
used
games
to
of the
this.
year.
Then maybe this is it. Hopefully this is it for him, and this is where he grows. He's got the adversity. Maybe because he's never had it. Now he can learn from it, and because he's fun to watch. I mean, when he's good, he's good.
Right.
I mean, it's good for the NFL to have a player like that. I mean, but yeah, he needs to learn from
Are
this.
we going to be sitting here 2 years from now and going, God, I can't believe Miami got Tua, and now with a different coach, maybe something happens, and Kyler Murray's going to be that guy that's on the way out.
Josh
already.
Rosen.
Yeah,
Could be.
well, he's not going to be Josh Rose. He's talented. There's no doubt. But we've been looking at Tua like he's the guy that's not reaching his potential.
Yeah.
And maybe with a change of coaches, he does, and Kyler Murray goes the other way
And I've
now.
always been a guy. I think Tua and Kyler are one and the same. Basically, I really do. I think Tua might be a little smarter though in the long run, but we'll see. I mean, you never know. I don't know. I mean, that's why Tua's like third or fourth offense coordinator this year now, which maybe will get stability is a good thing for a quarterback too.
You see, Tua had to deal with Nick Saban, and what did Kyler have? Was that Lincoln or was that?
That was Lincoln.
Lincoln. So
Yeah.
I don't know what type of coach he is. Apparently, he's been pretty lucky for having the good quarterbacks that he's had here. So to see how he does it, he should clean up at
I don't
the
think
USC, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's so much a coaching problem. It's just an attitude problem. He's been pampered his whole life.
right. Do you think Saban would have put up with that?
Yeah,
Definitely not.
'cause
There's got to be a mentor
It's not
for
a
him
coaching thing
somewhere.
because that offense is built for him.
Mhm.
That's not. They're
Yeah.
basically running.
Kingsbury,
They're running an offense where he runs the ball a little bit. He does the yeah.
Do you think Belichick would put up with something like that? He'd be on the bench for Belichick because he's the boss.
Yeah.
I mean, Kingsbury, he's going with him. He's living or dying with him.
Well,
and
he
it's
has
probably,
to. I mean,
yeah, it's
Murray
his
makes
guy.
more money than he does, right? Not right now, but he will.
Oh, he might. Yeah, was he number one pick?
He's
Yeah, he was
up there.
number one.
Yeah.
So he's
Number
making
one.
good money.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's making real good money. So, okay, let's move on to the bad Willie.
We already talked about him. How I was just watching the highlights about all of his miscues. Jalen Ramsey.
Ugh.
Did he borrow that guy's slides that was running around the field?
I mean, I guess the T Higgins touchdown there's you can all talk about.
There was a grab there, but
yeah,
yeah.
the grab and a push, and it could have been called. It was what it was, but I mean, the play that sticks out to me was the last drive where he tries to jump a route, and the guy gained 20 yards after that, put him 10 yards from field goal range, basically.
We had like probably 8 people really watching the game here, and that happened. We all were like, "What the hell was he doing?"
Tackling him for a 2-yard gain inbounds.
Yeah,
That's all you have to do. But
instead he gave up like 25-yard play
Yeah.
trying to jump a route, and it was
he
ugly.
should be buying Aaron Donald a steak, a car. Not even a steak dinner, a car, because Aaron Donald saved him from being the GOAT. Not
multiple
the good,
times.
not
Probably.
the good goat either. The bad goat. Right? Is that the word for a
The
goat?
one that doesn't give milk anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goat.
Yeah, that
The
goat.
scapegoat.
The
Ah,
scapegoat.
oh.
Yeah, yeah.
See what I did there?
Not the Tom Brady goat.
What are we on? Bad?
Yeah.
My bad is Brooks Koepka. Bad dye job of his hair.
Ooh.
Just uncomfortable arrogance. I mean, I don't mind ego and confidence, but it's just uncomfortable. And then just terrible acting in the middle of commercials. I mean, what the heck? I'm glad that he choked a little bit this weekend in the tourney because I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable listening to that guy and just even watching him. He's just too arrogant for me.
Oh, since we're talking about it, did you hear what who's the big hitter guy?
DeChambeau.
Yeah, what's his deal right now?
Well, he's been out. He's hurt. He's got like a hurt wrist.
But they came out today and somebody said that he's not even coming back this year now. And then he
They're
threw a big
talking about
fit
that
it.
those other tournaments and
Saudi Arabia, the
yeah.
other tour.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd know more there.
No, I didn't-
there's not much.
I
out
saw the
there.
headline, but I didn't read into it.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy. It just kind of bothers me a little bit. But I mean, I like him better than Koepka. That's for sure. Koepka drives me crazy. He's just a douche.
But DeChambeau, at least we did that one thing.
Yeah,
He would seem like he had a
personality.
little personality, while Kepka was just
He is.
Crazy because he's like a hockey player and everything else. He's very straightforward.
I think we know who
Yeah.
the real bully is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's Koepka. Yep. That's my bad.
I didn't even really have a bad. Let me think here for a second. The calls, the going for it on early in the game
On fourth down, there was no need. You could have punted and pinned him back in the 10. They had late in the game, fourth down or third down and 1, and they run it with, and I can't say this guy's name.
Samaje Perine.
That's the guy. I'm glad I have a Google Translate here. And they run it with him. They did it twice where they needed a 1-yard gain. He got 0 yards both times. And Mixon is their guy, and he's sitting on the bench. I don't get it. So I mean that's my bad. I mean, to me, that's just having the wrong guys in there at the wrong time. A couple big plays like that.
My bad is a homer bad. It's Kevin Hester back in the Hall of Fame. I understand he's only a returner, but I think the stat was 2006 to 2016. You obviously take the Bears out of it because he was on the Bears. He was tied alone with the Vikings
for most return touchdowns, and then everybody else was at least 5 or 6 behind him. Also, and that's when Cordell Patterson and also they had that good punt return at the time too. But I remember when I said that, I'm thinking, oh, okay, they had Devin Hester did both. You don't have a lot of guys do both anymore anyway. And I understand he's a kick returner, I get it, but this guys lost jobs because of this guy. I mean, Dennis Green almost broke
his
a
rant?
podium after a game
His
because
rant?
of him. I mean, this guy changed the game. They made rules because of this. They changed rules. I mean, we did things different. We moved. We don't want return. We want to have offense be part. They did things to avoid this. And I mean,
His records are going to be touched because of the rules now.
oh yeah, his records are set. And that's and will he get in eventually? Yes, he will.
Yeah, how far do we know? Do we know how many? Is it the same where we know it like
They
in
didn't say-
baseball?
today I don't know. Today I just saw like Peter King came out and said they actually record how many minutes they talk about each player.
Mm.
And he was only spent like 18 minutes on. And most guys, it was like the shortest hour. They spent 7.5 hours talking about 7.5 hours in a room doing this. And he usually it's longer, Peter King said, but he said what hurt him not being a receiver. But Peter King, I'm guessing has a vote.
Mhm.
And his article basically said it looks like he voted for him. But it is what it is. It happens. I understand it for a guy that, I mean, just changed the way the games play. I mean, I go to a lot of Bear games, and usually at football games, you go to the bathroom on punts and kickoffs. Out of here, nobody left their seats for
Hell
punts and
no.
kickoffs.
No,
Nobody
he
left,
was
and nobody
exciting, yeah.
nobody where you played, even on TV, nobody got up to go. Nobody left the screen when Devin Harris getting the ball back. That's hard to find for kick returners. I mean, for any one player. I mean, you don't know. I mean, obviously, you don't leave when the offense is playing or whatever. I get it, but that's your. I mean,
Yeah, but you're sitting there on the edge of your seat, like, oh, they're gonna punt.
Yeah.
There could, and I've been to games where he's returned
And
punts.
you're sitting at a game, and he it's like, oh my god, they gave it to him. Oh, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen? Why did they put it out of bounds? I mean, they actually kicked out of bounds a couple times that year, and gave the Bears the ball at like the 40 just to say,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah, because they don't have a
He ain't
quarterback.
getting the ball. Well, they went to the Super Bowl that one year. I mean, and he was a main part of that. They
He,
went to
he
a-
played with Grossman a lot.
yeah, they
right?
went to a Super Bowl
Yeah.
because he was probably
Well, that
because of him.
game,
That
that was
defense was very good.
that Cardinal game, which you know, you have games that stick out in your head, and I think for me it was because I had the Bears defense and special teams in Pete's league, and that game, that Arizona game where they were down 21-0, and what he did with the punt return for a touchdown, kickoff return for a touchdown, and obviously they scored on defense too. It's something I just never forget. And in my mind, nobody was even close to Hester as a return guy. I mean, there was good seasons here and there. I mean, Desmond Howard had a great year, but it wasn't the longevity of what he did is what
Well,
makes him a
and
Hall
how
of
many
Famer
guys-
right
how
there.
many guys do both?
Are we not going on the trip then? I mean, my guy got in.
Let's stay here by
It
I'm
had to
out.
be
My
both.
guy,
I'm out.
It had to be both.
it had to be both, yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of baseball back, you know, in the 80s or whatever, and they're like, why are we putting relievers in there? Jeez, what are relievers? Ain't going to do anything for the game. That's a garbage position. Everything. There's like 14 relievers on a playoff roster, you know.
Yeah.
They're pitching 7, 8, 9 relievers in a game now. And then they used to do it with DHs too. I was like, that's
Oh yeah, this guy's not good. Edgar Martinez, he's not that good because he just played DH. He didn't even go out on the field. And now they're adding DH in a whole league.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well-
it'll change. I don't know how he didn't get in because
Willie
he'll
made
get
a
in
great
eventually.
point, though. His records are untouchable now.
Right.
They really
You're
are.
never gonna touch him
I
again.
mean, you take even like I don't know who else got in, but just for example, Leroy Butler. Do you think he was as the pinnacle of his position compared to like
Hester was.
Well, you have Tony
Not even
Baselli,
close.
you have Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills, Moore, and Brian Young, Chris Grant Senior, senior inductee, Victor Neal, and Art McNally.
I mean, other than Boselli, I mean, were any of those guys thought of as the greatest ever at their position?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I think it's a difficult vote because he did not play wide receiver. He did not play.
I don't know why they couldn't use him. I mean,
You know
the
what I
game
mean?
was different. Why couldn't they use him like Tariq Hill or like Debo Samuel now?
well, they probably would.
They would.
Yeah, and
More-
he played
more
a
progressive
little
thinking.
bit of wide out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he just never was the guy.
There was rumors that he wasn't very good at playbook.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
some things like that. I mean, that's and when you have different quarterbacks, I mean, you know, Kyle Orton, Russ Grossman, I think that he played with Cutler, and you change quarterbacks, you got to be on the same page. And I'm going to go that he probably struggled. I don't know. I wasn't in the room. I have no
Yeah.
idea. But I firmly believe he could play receiver. The Bears play him a receiver.
Is-
I think it's dumb not to, obviously.
Is Mel Gray in there?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Brian Mitchell is
Mitchell.
Brian Mitchell in? I'm not sure.
I don't know if Billy White Shoes Johnson. They always
He's
talk about
not
him.
in.
He's not in.
He's not. You sure?
I don't
'Cause
think
well, he was a good receiver.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
I don't know Brian Mitchell. I'm not
No,
sure.
I don't think so.
I mean, they're.
And
who
I
knows?
get it. He'll get in. I just thought it was. I mean, it was kind of cool if he would have got in because I think it's just he changed the game. I mean, he just changed that 10. Well, it was he basically did it all in 5 years too. He did this all in like 5-6 years. And he had a couple here and there, but that 5-6 year period, man, they wouldn't. Dude, they're kicking balls out of bounds. They weren't punting. I mean, I don't know.
Right now, if you had an NFL top team of all time, would you not put him on the greatest team of all time to have him return just punts and kicks for you? Would
No.
it not be worth it to
No.
have that guy on your special teams to take one position?
Well, yeah.
No.
Without even thinking about it.
Punt kick return, yeah.
Yeah, you
Why
draft
wouldn't
him.
you? I mean,
You can
I,
only
I think
take
that would
one
almost be a
position on this
unanimous.
team. You
Yeah, I
can't-
mean, if you
Right,
get
right.
Dion, Dion. But
Yeah, or
Dion even said,
Yeah.
he should be in.
Yeah.
He's the best
He
player of all
will.
time.
He will be.
When Dion calls, it's kind of like Eric Clapton, the best guitarist. Who's the best guitarist? Well, don't ask me, it's Prince or whatever. Ask
Yeah,
Prince.
yeah,
It's-
exactly.
Deion Sanders basically says the same thing. He's the best returner of all time. Not
And when you
even
have
close.
when
Hands
you have
down.
people like that saying that, it's
When Deion Sanders
goodness.
was pretty good at it too.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
and he was never one to not talk about stuff.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with the good. The good. What's the good?
My good. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this guy before, but Sam Ryder at the Phoenix Open Waste Management. It's a hole-in-one at the party hole on 16th. I don't know if you saw the videos of this thing.
Oh, I saw it over and over and over. I watched this so much. The Phoenix Open is so cool.
That 16th
What do they call it? Hole?
the party hole. It's like,
That's what she said.
It's a stadium. I mean, there's a stadium surrounding it.
and it's just like as soon as he hit that hole-in-one, there was nothing. It rained beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that started with Tigers And there has not been a hole in one there wasn't a hole in one for almost
Since like 15.
There was two
yeah,
this weekend.
15, and there was two. There was two within a day.
One round. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
A day. I'm sorry, but Bob was there.
Oh, was he?
Not at the Open, but he was in Phoenix when they signed up for. He was there right
Yeah.
there. He said they actually had a concert there.
Yeah, they had a concert there last
First time
week.
ever they put a concert on the 16th hole. They had a concert. They had a seating and stuff. Great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great setup.
It's a great. I mean, just a great venue. It's so loud, and I mean, just a party hole. Did you see what you have to do though? You have to like line up to go in there. You have to like. They showed people like in the middle of the night standing out, and then they just like open the ropes and people run to get in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my cup of tea.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, 20 years ago with the suitcase
Drink
up there,
all
just sitting
day,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like how the Ryder Cup was. I parked my car. Some guy pulled up on a golf
Oh yeah,
cart.
the golf cart.
Like, yeah, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to ride up there?" Yeah.
Because you're gonna walk a lot when you get in
I
there.
walked a bunch, and then I was like, "I'm tired of this. I'm gonna go get drunk."
I do. She wants to get her steps.
Giddy up.
See you in a couple hours.
Yeah. just text me. I'll get a seat. So I'm sorry, Willie. You were still.
So yeah, Sam Ryder. I think do yourself a favor, watch the video.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely
pretty
amazing.
I did watch it.
The
Yeah.
place is deafening there, and I just love the fact that everybody's just throwing beers and
Any excuse
drinks.
they get, they throw them. Because did you see the last day? Two guys, after they finished their round, I don't even know who they were. They took their shirts off, and of course, then everybody went nuts and threw the beer cans everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like 20 guys standing around there waiting to just clean that up because they got to get the next.
all
group
wearing
through.
ponchos.
Crazy, unreal.
They should come like 300. It'd be awesome.
That would
Oh,
be
and make them
awesome.
play through it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, they make up their own. They have to clear their own
Kepka would
path.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, put his pants.
So Eric, you're
Oh, there's so many goods. I mean, maybe you can give me an honorable mention after this, but my good is you guys probably read this story after the Super Bowl, but Van Jefferson didn't have a great game. I mean, decent, 23 yards, 4 catches. But his wife went into labor with her second child during the Super Bowl. She was there, actually ran off, and I guess he somehow was able to talk to her and said, "I'll be there as soon as I can." Grabbed his other daughter and rushed. Wins the Super Bowl, grabs his other daughter quickly, says bye, goes to the hospital, and he's holding his brand new baby boy the same night. What was his name? Super. Yeah.
Cooper.
I didn't catch the name.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I mean, good for them. Good for Samaria, his wife, and for her to even be there. She said, "I got to be there," and
well, it's gonna happen again.
then she had to take off. So, but I thought that was a good story.
That's a great story. I think they're going to try and do the same schedule and hopefully hit the Super Bowl next year.
There we go. Won't be all, lucky
Yeah,
for them. It was a
Arizona.
home game. They live in Los Angeles, so lucky for them, they got to go see their own doctor.
I'm pretty sure if they would have been in Tampa, a doctor would have been able to perform that.
Yeah, it would have been that guy from Knocked Up, though. Smokey.
Would have been the vet from Yellowstone.
Ew.
The vet.
Wow.
That's what they call him, the vet. They get
The
the
vet.
vet in to fix wounds.
Oh, I gotta watch that show.
You don't want. I think you guys watched it.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
haven't
I
seen it.
apologize.
I think you were
Yeah,
talking
thanks.
about Tweeter.
Thanks for spoiling it.
Oh my god, nobody said any of the good ones. I mean, we left off. I mean, I'm guessing.
I didn't want to
you
say
guys-
the obvious. I,
I know. I was actually going to pick Joe Burrow for taking the 7 sacks, and they were into the game until the last play of the game. Really terrible.
I thought you were
know.
going to talk about his
He
outfit.
had a good game. His game was almost as good as Stafford. His numbers were good.
You know that Ed's had a man crush on
I
Burrow the
do.
last 4 weeks.
Well, it's almost like creepy because he's like 13.
That's
yeah.
a little bit older than you usually like.
I mean, I was going to take like Cooper Cup or something for you guys to take him.
Who's Cooper Cup?
I don't know. The guy.
He's a guy
He's
that
just a guy.
saved a lot of fantasy football teams this year.
Yeah.
He had
He
bad
just won- he
drafts.
just
They
won
picked the
me.
one guy, right?
They try to
Scott?
make it out like he's like this guy that came from nowhere. He's got 2 relatives that played in the NFL. I mean, I think it was dad and his grandpa, wasn't it? Or dad
So
and uncle.
two cups,
3 cups, 1 glass.
3 cups, one. Okay.
I don't know.
One trophy.
Some trophy.
So how many goods are you getting here? You've taken like 2
No,
now.
Scott's going.
Let's have Scott.
Probably taking all Scott's.
You
What the
said you
hell?
wanted honorable mention.
But I'm going to let everybody else pick.
I'm going to take Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I knew you were.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't going to say that.
I think he should be MVP. I know Cooper Cup, but he should be MVP. It's just one of those things. I think it's time to give the guy MVP.
But you know they have to do the MVP like 4 minutes before the end of the game, or
which then
something
it's
like that.
even more
crazy.
surprising because I thought Cup would have won it because that last drive.
Yeah, that's what I
Right.
thought too. Because
And
Cup
if they
was
do
shut
it that
down for a
early-
little bit.
yeah,
For a little bit, he was shut down.
You know, and I really believe that. I think Stafford. But anyway, it doesn't matter. He won a Super Bowl. I mean, 12 years in Detroit. I mean, like I said yesterday, the guy played in Detroit and never heard him complain or bitch or whine about anything. Took his lumps, was always hurt. Something wrong with the guy, and always took a beating and just ended up. It's almost like that feel good story, that the kind of story you want to see in sports. And it's just, I mean, I guess he kind of got his way out of this year, but Detroit did a good thing. I think they learned from Barry Sanders what they had to do with Matt Stafford.
Right.
Yeah, it made
So-
sense.
And he didn't force himself out of a
No.
place like Jalen Ramsey.
It wasn't
Yeah.
a big to do. Him going to the media, he went to the front office, I'm sure, and said, "Hey, I need to get out of here, man.
Get me the hell
Give me
out
a
of here."
chance." And I saw McVay this year. They'll trade for me.
Yeah, I saw him in Mexico.
So-
Hey, let's
so-
go.
Yeah,
The
and that's
tampering.
I'm just saying that you know what.
Did you hear the whole story with that? It's kind of weird.
Tampering over margaritas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's his name's too? The little guy that from ESPN guy. God, I can't think of his name.
He's just a little guy.
Sam
Sal Palin-
Schefter?
the little
No.
bald guy that's in everything. He does all the draft shit. He's on all the Fox Fox NFL Sports and everything.
Little bald guy, Jay Glazer.
Glazer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Glazer.
He
yeah.
just broke up with his wife like a day or two before that, and those guys called him and they're like, "Hey, come down and hang out with us." And then they ran into Stafford too. So it was Whitlock or whatever.
Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
Whitlock, McVay. They called Glazer. He finally agreed to come down there after a couple days, and then they ran into Stafford down there.
Jeez.
So it's kind of weird.
That's a party.
Sounds like tampering, but yeah,
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
yeah. I mean, there's a whole long story to it, but
Yeah, I
kind of the
remember
gist
reading
of
about
it.
it. Yeah.
And Stafford had good playoffs. He was good overall.
His numbers through the playoffs were unbelievable. He accounted for every touchdown. Did I see that right? Yeah, he accounted because he had 2 rushing touchdowns. None of his running backs had rushing touchdowns. So he accounted for every single touchdown. No, I think that's what I heard. I think I heard that today. Every single touchdown, and I mean, he had a couple picks in the, yesterday, but it wasn't.
Well, the one we talked before was a 3rd and 15.
Yeah,
the other one was-
like a Favre
And the
situation.
other one was off the guy's hands.
I was just going to say that he is more similar to Favre than anybody.
He's a little
He'll-
Favre-like. Yeah.
He'll throw the ball
don't
in there.
care.
He doesn't care if instead of a punt, he'll take the pick. He doesn't
Yeah.
care. Or it's going to get a pass
It's
interference.
like a 20, big deal. You whatever.
Would
It
you
is what it
rather
is.
hold on to the ball, go down, and then punt it, or would you take a shot at
or
the end
throw
zone?
throw it underneath and get 3 yards and punt anyway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or throw it all the way down the field, get picked,
And to be
or
honest,
get a
those are
touchdown.
only 2 throws in the game that he had that were really like bad. Well, actually, that was a bad throw. Only bad throw he really had in the game.
He had one at the end of the game too. He threw one way high.
Oh well, they
Yeah,
showed that, but that was the
Yeah.
DB was up in front of him and he threw it right to get it. He had to get over
Yeah.
the top.
Cooper
I
Cup
mean,
was terrible too.
I mean,
throwing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
no,
that was
that was awful.
And think about
that
it.
was not a Philly
That
special.
game would have been a totally if that Jones, I believe, linebacker could have caught the first pick that Burrow threw right to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
that
right,
guy
right
was
to him.
gone.
The other one,
Totally.
the Tyler Boyd drop,
Yeah, boy drop. Yeah.
that it would have changed the game, but it happens. I mean,
So that was our good. Oh, you want to?
Well, my honorable mention, just a nice actual surprise watching golf was this Sahith Thigala. And what a great story. 24-year-old. He's a rookie. He's playing on a sponsor's exemption. He had a ton of family at the event. And he's playing with this rowdy-ass crowd at the Phoenix Open and just totally embraced it. I thought it was fun to watch him.
Oh yeah.
Just an absolute blast watch. He kind of choked at the end because he hit the ball in the water on 17.
Yeah.
But
Got a little strong there.
But yeah, he's hit the crap out of the ball, and he's fun to watch. A lot of personality. I'd say he's the anti-Brooks Koepka. I was torn between those 2 stories. That's why I wanted to.
I mean,
give
there
a
were so
shout.
many good stories this week. Yeah. There's still a few more.
Didn't
bad
somebody
ones.
get engaged at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Or something like
Yeah, he
Rap.
proposed. Was it?
His name was Rap, I think.
Is he?
He was a state.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was
Adrian Pierce got arrested.
yeah, I didn't want to go there, but
Jesus. Well, then it came out later and said him and his wife were arguing on the plane. So they arrested him because it was
he scratched her or something with her
he
ring.
grabbed her ring and he scratched her finger.
Well,
She's
he's not
in-
pressing charges either.
At least he didn't hit her in the balls with a switch.
Take his
Yeah,
belt
she doesn't
off.
have she doesn't have
Yeah.
balls anymore.
Last week it was a kid. Jeez.
Maybe the kid can listen.
Well, then I agree.
That messed
You
up,
leave your Legos
that
out.
messed up a fantasy season for me.
So I'm gonna. Give me a minute to think about this. What do Lamar Odom and Aaron Rodgers have in common? You're listening to the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. Check us out on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, also on Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers, and on Twitter at Base Benchwarmers. And our email is basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com. So, can anybody hear about this? What did Lamar Odom do this last
Lamar
weekend?
Odom or Lamar?
Lamar Odom, the ex-basketball player.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I thought you said Lamar.
He
Kendrick.
shit the bed on Big Brother. He actually pooped the bed.
Lamar
you
Odom did?
serious?
Swear to God.
I think you would have rather thrown up on his shirt. Remember that?
He's on Big Brother and he pooped the bed.
He pooped the bed. That's why I didn't remember Kevin Conley.
I get it because Aaron Rodgers shit the bed against the 49ers.
But anyway, back to Lamar Odom.
So did
Yeah.
Sylvie's wife. Sylvie's wife put the bed.
Well, that was
What?
would you rather the other night. I
on
was
that
listening.
show.
He told.
Yeah, I bet his wife loved that.
His ex-wife.
But would you rather? I heard on the
Yeah.
same show was would you rather walk around with poop in your pants or throw up on your shirt?
And I said to throw up on the shirt because I don't want
How
poop in
long?
my
Are we,
pants
how long and where are we walking
for the
around?
day.
But Waddle was very, very. Every time Sylvie would say the same stuff, well, he's like, I don't care. It's poop in your pants. It's throw up for sure. Why would you want poop? But I said this, and this is why I'm. This is a good point. This really is. Now I'm going to go with poop in the pants. I mean, just the throw up. Because, but the thing is, when you smell poop, you go, "Oh my God, what is that?" When you smell throw up, you throw up.
Yeah, you do.
So would
Anytime.
you have
Yes.
people walking around going, yeah, or going, "You shit yourself?" Maybe.
As a little
Possible.
turd runs down your
In
leg.
this room, we're all going to look at Willie either way. So,
Did you poop yourself? That's a hell of a question.
yeah. No, I'm going with throw up on the shirt.
Oh,
I'll do
Bucks
this.
are losing by almost 20. That's good.
Are you serious? Yeah, they're a third quarter team.
So yes, that was Lamar on a poop pants.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Did
And
they-
he was
did they-
fine. He wasn't. I don't know if he ate something bad or I don't know.
Wasn't he making just like 20 million a year playing basketball not too long ago? And then he
did a lot of drugs.
he ended up with a Kardashian and went all downhill from that.
Yeah.
Actually, so bad. A man in the family had to be a woman.
Yeah.
How bad that family is.
That's exactly why.
Seriously. Lamar Odom was like, man, these people fucked up, man. I'm out of here. I'll go sit a bet on Big Brother.
What the hell?
Holy
Are
cow.
you gonna grab the beer of the week?
Yeah, do you want to do the beer?
Let's
of
do
the
the
week?
beer. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. You got anything? Edward's getting the beer.
Can I- Are we, you want me to do my Super Bowl summary or wait until the end?
Oh, you can do it now. Go ahead.
All right. Super Bowl weekend started out with a mass shooting involving Kodak Black. Then we had a nice national anthem with no kneeling players, a boring first half. A halftime show featuring performers who have used the N-word a combined 100,000 times, but they kept it clean. A solid second half, a missed offensive pass interference, a pile of penalties at the end. Cooper Kupp won the MVP. Then looting and riots rounded out the weekend. Yeah, so
You did pretty much the kneeler during half.
they said the Eminem did.
Eminem
He
did.
did.
But he was kneeling to, I thought he was kneeling to Dr. Dre.
He was.
I-
That's the way I took it.
I
That's the
think
way I
That's
took it.
too.
I think it was, but whatever. You know what? Like I say, when I saw it, everybody's like, "Oh," I
didn't even
was
think
like, I don't.
It wasn't during the national
Hey,
anthem.
he's got the mic.
No,
do
no,
what you
that's-
want. As long he's not hurting me, do what you want. That's different.
That doesn't matter though, because we're not honoring the vets.
Yeah. That's exactly. He can. Yeah,
He
you're
could,
right.
He could shit his pants up there.
Yeah.
I don't really care because it's not when we're honoring the vets.
And real quick, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the halftime show real quick before Eric pops the beer. So what do you guys think about it? Did you guys like it?
I enjoyed it.
I
From what I could hear between
Yeah.
Clayton running his mouth the whole time.
what'd you
Sorry.
think about it, Eric? What'd you think?
Well, I like the premise of it. I mean, obviously, all those artists, it's just kind of something from our 20s and just
I
reminds you
think
of a lot
Kendrick
of stuff.
Lamar was out. He should have been. there.
Kendrick Lamar, I'm not into, but
I would have rather had like who's the guy that sang I always think of the song.
High Stepper.
No, it's no.
You got what I need.
No,
Warren
he's
G,
dead.
he's dead.
Oh,
Nate Dogg
we
dead.
saw him.
Easy E dead.
Should have brought out Ice Cube. I thought.
Kodak Black
But he's not part of
not
that.
doing good.
That's
either.
not the Dre. That's the Dre family tree, basically.
Oh, Mary
is
J.
what it-
Blige is part of Drake.
I think he produced her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then he produced Kendrick Lamar and
yeah,
50
I
Cent.
knew all
and
that.
he
50 Cent.
discovered.
Wow.
He discovered Eminem,
Couldn't
and
tell he was strong or fat.
he was a little chubby.
Yeah,
I
I
thought.
didn't understand the hanging upside down scarf.
That was weird.
Just showing how badass
Was he a
is.
bat or something? I don't know.
Dude, how did you think they sounded?
That was an ode to the Wuhan virus.
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah, that's you
'Cause he's
got to
half-
take everything
he's-
out of context.
He's half Wuhanian. Oh, it's Wuhanian. I'm sorry. Potato. Let's drink a beer.
Okay, here we go. It's well, we'll talk about half show after we're done drinking. It's me and you.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you drink. I drink beer when I am sad, because the beer, it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good, beer is good, beer is good.
Beer is good, and this is Good City. You see what I did there? This is our sponsor for the day, Good City Brewing out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've never had this beer before. Scott picked up about $150 worth of beers the other day. So
There's only 6 of them.
And I got a sticker with that too.
They've upped their variant game. They have a lot of imperial stouts now, bourbon barrel aged, quads, all kinds of stuff. So this one, I think I've had the base of this before.
Wait,
Scott.
you said up the variant game. Is it the Fauci Batch 7?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wondering.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Omicron.
This one's called Omicron Part 2. No, this beer is coconut cream density. So density is an imperial stout. This is aged in bourbon barrels with a little coconut cream in it. 12.9 alcohol by volume. I have not had it, so let's give it a try.
Looks like molasses cream.
And a little tidbit on Good City. I think Good City is one of the craft breweries in Milwaukee that kind of led the revolution a little bit in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So they've been around for maybe a dozen years now.
Yeah.
And they were one of the first
good.
to start doing this in Milwaukee.
Nice little finish with the coconut there.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you taste
It's
coconut
smooth.
right at the end.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So
Not bad.
It's got a good feel in the mouth.
Oh,
it's got good
sip's
mouthfeel. Yeah.
Every sip's like $1.50.
Wow. So what, you bought like a variety pack? I mean,
Yeah, this is a 4-pack of variety one.
yeah.
So
He
like,
sucked one of these down, and then he goes, "I'm gonna go buy a beer now."
There's a maple syrup one. Well, I asked for, I ordered the Audis City, whatever it's called, but they didn't have it
Yeah.
like on tap. So that's why I bought it, because I want to try it. And then
Sure.
one I had that night was good. I can't remember what it was. It was a milk stout. No. I don't know what it was. I can't remember, but it was good. Yep, it was good. So
Good City.
good city.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good brewery. I mean, they're really growing. Remember, we went to the original one on Farwell.
Yeah, well, for dinner.
Yeah, for dinner.
Yeah,
that was
with
before a
you.
Will Holt concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you thought, Jason.
And that's-
We went there.
That's the only one they had at that
The
time.
food was decent. I liked mine.
Yeah.
Glenn liked his. Amy got mac and cheese. Said it was kind of bland, which it's hit or miss at restaurants. They don't always good cheese, so you get a problem sometimes. And then Jenny had a pulled pork burger. With pulled pork, but the pulled pork was really, really strong and like cinnamon and like the sweet scents. And then the burger was kind of like charred on the outside, didn't like cook it and then But but the really good thing there, curry fries.
Yeah, they've done curry fries forever.
Ooh, they were incredible.
They've always done curry
Oh, they're so
fries.
good. They were awesome. They're worth going back to. Curry
Was I
fries.
with in the Will Holt one?
No, it was just us one time we went.
It was
I don't
one of the
remember.
first. We just barely started
Maybe
hanging
you
out.
met us at the concert. You guys came up to me.
I think you guys
earlier.
were
I
sick.
remember being there.
You guys were sick. I remember you and I were
Oh.
sick. Because I didn't even know you guys. I don't think I ever even met you yet.
You're getting freaky.
No, I don't know.
That's
You
what they
shouldn't
call it.
meet
Yeah,
us
because we
sick.
gave their tickets to somebody.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just
you're
gave
right.
them to some random
Yeah,
person.
you're right. Because I was like,
it
hey, you
just
want
the
these?
four of us.
Because they're in the coffee shop. You want to come in? Oh,
And you were
okay.
probably like, "Oh, you're way cooler than the people we got them from, anyways."
Yeah.
So just some
I
random.
tried getting Eric. Which laugh track came in?
Brooks Koepka finally showed up.
Jace is here. Hi,
That's
Jace.
more laughs all over himself. What the hell? That's more laughs than Kepka's had in 3 years.
How much? What's that awful jersey you have on? Well, they're probably not going to play this year, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
Oh, they're going to still let the Cubs play.
the
They're just
dumpster
going to be
guy.
bad.
Dumpster guy knows some stuff that we don't know.
Oh, got some dumpster info.
Universal DH happened.
We saw that.
The owners are a bunch of a-holes, and
And the players aren't.
well, pretty far apart. Didn't get any better on Saturday.
Well, here's you know what's the holding up the whole process is Otani doesn't speak English and he's a player rep.
After Stephen A. Smith.
Translation.
Stephen A. Smith was right.
Stephen A. Smith's always right. What an unbelievable guy that is. Just a great American citizen.
He is.
There's been a lot of outrage against him everywhere.
Kyler Murray, 15 minutes, he'll be here. He's
Oh,
coming out.
15?
15 minutes. Yeah, just texted me.
Is he giving us his side of the story?
That's what we got him on. Yep.
You can finish my beer.
Is he tall enough to come in here and sit in the chairs?
No, he's in a call. Yeah, he's calling from a
he's-
payphone, but he's standing on the phone book to call. Is it? So
You know what a
He's
phone book is,
listening.
Jace?
He's gonna be pissed.
he don't care. We're good friends.
He doesn't like my Pam Oliver jokes, I know.
We're good friends. Me and Kyler.
You guys understand each other?
Yeah, I run the playbook with him. Yeah, that's like sucks. I don't know. Anyway, we did go through the Hall of Fame with briefly. Tony Baselli got in. Leroy Butler, the Packer, got in finally. Sam Mills, tiny little Sam Mills, small little pack the punch fella. You know what? Sam Mills actually has better numbers than I saw this before than somebody that like people always like another Hall of Famer or something. He's got like Ray Lewis or something like that. He's got like really good numbers.
Didn't he play in the other league though for a while too? Sam Mills, was it USFL?
The
Or
XFL.
CFL?
He may have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Richard Seymour, traded from the Patriots. Remember that?
Yep.
And went to the Raiders. And then Bryant Young, the 49ers, ex-49er.
It's a good class. It's not a flashy class.
No, it's a
really.
very quiet
Hester would have
class.
made it a little
It
bit
might
more
be a
exciting.
good year to go because it might be not very busy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm
I'm thinking
You might
about
get a lot
going.
of Packer fans there because of Butler.
I might take Jackson and Logan and go.
Yeah.
I
It's
got
just
some
a fun
names for
venue.
snubs. If you're interested,
Yep, go ahead.
you already talked about one.
Yep.
Devin Hester. How about Reggie Wayne?
Yeah, Reggie Wayne's not in. Andre Johnson is on the list too, isn't he?
Andre Johnson.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, Andre Johnson is the crazy one to me.
He was like the top guy
so here's
for
the thing.
years.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
No,
That's
no,
what
go ahead.
that's what
Go
upsets
ahead.
me about.
Go ahead.
What
This is
upsets me. So Peter King says because Devin Hester was a good enough receiver, but then they don't put good enough receivers in.
No, because they didn't return kicks.
Now, if Hester caught, or you're right, or Reggie Wayne or John Johnson Kirk, it's crazy to me because Andre Johnson is by far one of the best receivers I ever played the game.
Here's the problem: is you have a bunch of people that never played a sport, picking who was the best in that sport, and they're not very respectable guys that are doing the.
No,
baseball's even worse.
Oh, baseball's terrible. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What's your list? I'm sorry. I just
So
thought of
we Hester, Wayne. You said Andre Johnson. How about DeMarcus Ware?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. Corey Holt.
Givers do.
And then one on here, Rondé Barber.
he was part of. I mean, he was as good as John Lynch was,
right?
In that defense, he really was.
That's the six I had.
And those are all those guys won rings except for Andre Johnson. Correct?
Hester.
Well, Hester, no.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Hester and John, everybody else won rings on that list too.
Yeah.
Well, out of the receivers, Johnson's the best receiver. Out of those
I know
three,
Reggie Wayne, man. He's I like Reggie Wayne.
did you think Wayne?
Johnson.
Okay, let me ask you this question: Wayne or Harrison? Who was better?
Harrison was because
Harrison went in on the first ballot.
he was like the original Cooper Kupp. Yeah. He was just small and he caught over 100 balls a year. And Did you see that stat about Cooper Kupp? I think it's nice to you guys. He Triple Crown, Pro Bowler, all whatever, MVP. Did it in 1 year. Jerry Rice took his whole career to do that.
And offensive player.
And offense player.
And he's the only one ever to do all those things.
Well,
wasn't that what it
Rice
was?
did it in his whole career.
In his whole career,
but he did it in 1 year.
That's what I'm
Cooper Kupp.
saying. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It was.
I mean, and you
amazing.
obviously have to have a chance playing a Super Bowl to do that.
Yeah.
It's because he was MVP. That's what it was. Because Rice has been
Right.
MVP.
Won the
with Super Bowl.
receiving triple crown, won the offensive player of the year, and won the Super Bowl MVP.
Just insane. And you know what?
Crazy.
His interview after he was so humble. He's like he didn't even think he deserved it.
Because he was concussed.
Yeah, that's true. He might not know where he was. Because
He
got
did get
smoked
that
in that
big
one play.
hit,
Yeah.
The game when he touched him, he got thrown.
He seemed really weird the rest of the game too. After the game, he was very like mild. So maybe he was concussed.
I think he did get messed up because his head went.
Well,
he got
they
thrown
should
down
protest then because he was playing concussed.
Yeah,
They
I
got a
was
good
worried about
case.
if they're going to take him to the blue tent or not.
Yeah.
The blue. That's what really takes all his friends to the blue tent.
Hmm.
So let's. I'm sorry. You got something else, Willie? You got a bunch of papers there.
I got lots of papers here. Do you know how?
He just brought us.
Do you know how long it is till the next NFL kickoff?
I saw it. 7 months.
No. Well, yeah, it could be.
He's got days. I bet he's got
I got
days.
days. I got
Oh, well,
days.
7. So 225 days.
30 days is a month.
No, you're right. Almost right there. 206
Okay.
days.
Yeah, it's like 7 months.
How
I'm
many
gonna-
weeks? How many weeks do you think it is?
Well, 7 months. I don't know.
Divide by 7.
28 weeks.
Oh, 7 divided
yeah,
into
yeah,
200
yeah.
is
29 weeks and 3 days.
Yeah, there you go.
The NFL though has a way of staying in the news all year round, every day. And
They
now
do. Every month.
free agency's moved up
And the
now, right?
Dolphins.
What has? I mean,
It
we're
starts
gonna,
like now.
yeah, we're on the clock.
We got our draft coming up pretty soon. Draft
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's relevant all year.
But now it's Kyler Murray's in the news, and Aaron Rodgers isn't for.
Well, Rodgers will think of
But
something.
Brady will retire this week then, or
Maybe,
won't.
maybe.
So it's going to be a big deal.
Who?
Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't retired yet.
Yeah, he's retired.
Did he retire?
He said he did. He said he's
He
retiring.
might come back.
What's up with Gronk?
He keeps
Is
teasing it.
Gronk done?
Broncos play with, I think, the Bengals.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he,
That'd be a
he
good
said
block.
he'd play
That'd be
with
a
Joe
great
Murray.
blocker for them, too.
Yeah, but Azumo, I don't know his contract. He's a good tight end.
Azuma was going to take a bath in Chile if they won the Super Bowl.
Skyline Philly.
Yeah.
That would've been awesome to see.
I thought you meant in Santiago.
What? I didn't say Chile.
Hey, I tell you what, those kids from Cincinnati, they're just happy no matter what they can get the day off.
Yes,
That's right. That's something.
Day off of school.
It's a good story, though, Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know if this is a segue to one of your things you wanted to bring up, but did anybody here, when if you look back a year ago or when we did all of our pre-NFL shows, did anybody say the Bengals were going to be in the Super Bowl? Did anybody say the Bengals would be a playoff?
No, because there's always one team that sneaks in.
So that maybe that's your segue.
But very
to-
rarely they speak in the Super Bowls.
Is there a team that we can throw out there right now that could be the next year's Cincinnati Bengals? Dolphins. Not so much the Super Bowl, but just somebody
You
that makes
always
it
say the
deep.
Dolphins.
I know.
I did it one year and I was right. You can't just keep doing it.
I'm going to do it every year until they win.
I
NFC could be anybody.
Okay, let's who do you guys write down 2 teams next year you think be on Super Bowl?
I got
I do.
Chargers.
Sorry. And the Chargers, no, the Chargers aren't. They weren't a
He's
4
not
and 12
saying
team.
that though. Yeah.
They weren't a 4 and 12 team.
I'm just gonna
the year
list.
before.
How
You don't
about-
need-
okay.
The Chargers not going on much of a limb.
Well, go. You guys think any right now?
If the pieces fall.
Why might I have to go out there and limb? Are we trying to pick who's going to be in the Super
Well,
Bowl?
he's asking if someone.
Well, I just let's just start with who's a
two
sleeper.
non-playoff teams.
Who's potentially a sleeper?
Well,
Okay,
I got to watch the draft first.
How about? Okay, I'll give you one. That's kind of. I just thought it was by look. How about the Eagles?
That's the one I keep thinking about. Is the Eagles?
That's an out there one.
I'm
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
they-
going to say the Colts. That's
Well,
a good.
is
but
that really a
They won
stretch?
9 games.
I know they're a really good team,
If you
but they
say
weren't in the
Chargers or
playoffs.
Colts, that's not much
And the
of a
rumor
stretch.
is they're getting rid of Wentz.
That's
Well,
not
that's
even.
what-
I don't
that's-
think that's a rumor anymore.
That's why I'm calling them one and done Wentz here.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
What? Who do
Okay.
they go get? 'Cause
Well,
they,
and
don't
yeah.
have, they won't have a good enough draft.
Russell
spot.
Wilson might be.
You
I
never
thi-
know.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Or
Roger, you don't know.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Hey.
They're
Could
they're
be.
all in the opposite league. So
Deshaun Watson.
so we're trying to say, let's say a team that's just not, it's a under 500 team.
Yeah, let's just go with that, I guess.
I mean, and to me, the Dolphins, I fit that mold, but you guys don't want me to say them again. Somebody's gonna say Jacksonville.
I was going to say Jacksonville because they have a coach now.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
don't think
see
they don't have enough, they
Jacksonville.
don't have enough pieces yet. I don't think they need a.
That's the
year.
Colts if they have enough pieces.
They're gonna add. Jacksonville's gonna have one more year under that long-haired quarterback, that hippie. They're gonna get the running back back. How about the Falcons? That's what I'm looking at right now in your
Well,
picture over there.
what
The
happens
Saints
with-
are gone
yeah.
now. The Buccaneers, you know what's going to happen with them. And then you have Carolina. I mean, they're one of those teams too, but their best player can never stay healthy for 16 games. So
Yeah.
that's
And
a problem.
They have quarterback issues too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do you guys
everybody
remember
does.
the Panthers actually started pretty well?
Yeah.
Did they win their first 3 or
I
4?
And
think
I
they were
called
3 or 4
and I
and one.
saw
then they
right
fell
through
apart.
them.
Yeah, so did I.
I don't like them at all. I was like, they're the worst. I think I said they're the worst 4. I think
Yeah.
it might have been 5-0 or 4-0
We
at one
collectively
point.
said that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Because then McCaffrey got hurt.
Well, I think they even won some games with him out.
Yeah.
He got hurt. Like
Do they
week 2 or
trade
3.
He got hurt like getting off the bus.
He got hurt at the team picture.
She falls asleep.
Hey, can you
Your
stretch?
glass break like when you're at the Kingfish game, like dishes and shit.
Jeff Jankowski says his kid says the Bears.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
The Three Bears? What?
I'm not.
That division's so weak anyway. I mean, if if
Rodgers
Rod
leaves,
Well, the
that's a
NFC is
toss-up
going to
that
be a
That's-
cakewalk for somebody this year. I think the NFC is going to be.
But you know what?
It's going to be
should've
worse
been
than it was last
was
year.
this year.
But you know what? You look at that, and I know you're saying that, and I disagree because it's always going to happen. Look, do you think that Cleveland and Pittsburgh and Baltimore thought they were going to worry about the Bengals this year? Seriously. Do you think
That's exactly?
they
Yeah,
probably
that's-
going,
that's true.
okay, well,
Yeah.
that's going to be at least 1, maybe 2 wins. We're done. That's good.
Yeah.
And then we look here. No, they dominated that
And
division.
that's why we just throw teams out there, like you said, the Eagles or whatever. They could be all of a sudden the Eagles are in the NFC Championship game.
And,
this year.
and Baltimore was like one of the favorites, and they pissed on the Baltimore.
They did
and
what?
Baltimore.
Yes,
It was terrible.
yes.
It was like one of the. It's one of the games stands out in my mind is that game for the Bengals. That
The
was
Ravens
game,
did a Lamar Odom.
But that was their game. That when they won that game and did that, I'm like, man, this is pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, which I probably still didn't, but they're good.
They did get
You go
hot.
on the
They
road
really
and
got
they
strong
again.
because John Harbaugh is a good coach,
Yeah.
and he doesn't let teams get. You don't get beat like that very often, no matter who his quarterback is.
Give him a
He don't
beat
care.
down.
Yeah,
That guy was, I mean, it was like a mass unit there.
yeah, and he's still. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
And what he did with them, I thought, was pretty good here. But yeah, Trent Dilfer was on, was Rich Eisen today. He goes, every team in the NFL is freaking pissed off at the Rams because they didn't do it the right way. They didn't build to the draft.
Mhm.
mortgaged the future to win a Super Bowl, which they did.
Which is great. We'll see what happens over the next.
Can you do that again? Our team's going to start. Is that going to be a formula going forward?
I think it's been a formula for years, but it
Well, they've
doesn't
tried-
work.
yeah, it
Not
hasn't
the way
worked.
they did it. I mean, think about it.
no, they just. I mean, but they did it. They did it kind of. Here's why they did it right, because what they did is they had a good enough team, and think about it.
What do I need?
But remember, their best player, you could argue, is Aaron Donald.
There's no argument.
There's no
I don't
argument.
think
There's no
any
argument.
He's been
Okay.
around, and he's part of their team. They go get Leonard Floyd for cheap. Then they decide, okay, and they get there with Jared Goff. They get there, and they Lamar owed him the bed, and they just don't score against the Patriots. And the Patriots, I mean, defensively, that Rams defense played good enough that day to beat anybody but the Patriots. Basically, they played good enough to beat anybody but the Patriots. And then he went out and said, you know what? We have a small window, and you say this all the time. And this is the Packers' exact example where I think they screwed up. And I'll kind of segue into this. It's about Rodgers now, maybe get that big money now. They're thinking about bringing him back, and they're going to probably try to get Adams back. Now, here's the problem, though. You need to do this 2 years ago when you had Rodgers under contract and go sell things off and make yourself the Rams. If they made themselves the Rams, they win the Super Bowl.
Well, they could have
No problem. But now it's
they
going to be
could have
harder
done it
because they
this
don't have
year.
the money now to fit.
No,
They could have.
yeah.
And people and I see that. I see a guy, and Heggs is a big, and I'll give Heggs shit all the time. He knows, but he's a big guy. Like people bring up OBJ would help the Packers. Blah, blah. Oh, we don't. Debo would have helped this other guy. No, you're wrong. If you had Debo or OBJ,
Oh, God.
you wouldn't take Debo or OBJ over MVS or over. And I love Lazard.
It's the
but over
biggest
Lazard.
dull moment that we've ever had here on the show.
But think about it.
Yes.
And I understand. You can't look at, but there's so many people that, and every team does it. Every team passed on Debo. It's not just the Packers.
Mhm.
But there's so many guys the Packers could have put in these spots. But they take guys like Jordan Love and guys like, and Dylan's a great player.
Yeah.
Okay. I think A. Dillon's going to be a great player, but they really didn't need him at that time. It's a great pick,
Yeah.
but what did it do for them? I mean, maybe if he plays the whole game and doesn't get hurt, maybe it would have showed.
It could have
Shown.
been, yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those things, and you say it all the time. You need to, and when you have it's hard to do. Like the Bengals don't need to do that because they have a team that they can go. But the Rams are now kind of getting to the screw point. But guess what? They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And this wasn't.
And
the
they
same.
could actually put it. They could actually do it again next year. They have enough that can stay. I mean, there's a lot of questions and a lot of things. Seemed like everybody was talking about retirement this week.
And this isn't like a Redskins Daniel Schneider type of thing. Everybody says, "Oh, it's like Daniel Schneider." No, Daniel Schneider spent stupid money on stupid players. Hainsworth, they gave up. Those aren't guys.
Old
who win
players
You don't win
and,
guys.
yeah.
You don't win Super Bowls with Albert Hainsworth because he was stepping guys' heads and hands, and
Yeah.
he's not a guy you want on your team.
Yeah, exactly.
You need guys that can. Aaron Donald is a leader, but that was their guy.
Yeah.
But they go get Von Miller. OBJ comes available. They grab him, and OBJ, honestly, anybody could have fought for him. I mean, anybody could have fought for him. It wasn't like it was
the
got traded.
Packers offered him, but it was league minimum.
Yeah,
And he just got offered a little bit
I
more.
saw later. He was between the
Saints.
Patriots
Patriots, oh.
and the Rams. He
Yeah.
said, but like I said,
You're saying they should have went for it 2 years ago.
I think the year they
Sold
drafted
out.
Jordan Love was a mistake year, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying Jordan Love was a
Terrible.
mistake. I'm just saying that that year they should have went out there and said, "Here's free agent. We're gonna do. We're gonna go find guys. We're gonna fill spots. We're gonna get players to make this team better." They didn't have guys like they didn't have Stokes. They didn't have like the guys they have drafted that are pretty good players for them right now. They didn't have those guys.
Now Aaron Rodgers is going to be Drew Brees, finishing out his career, breaking records, but you're going to be squeaking into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and they're
You're
in a
going to go
division
in
that's winnable.
not squeaking in. They're going to go into the playoffs weak. They're going to be a weak team going into the playoffs.
Because they're going to make hard decisions this year. They keep
have to.
Rodgers and get Devontae Adams, and I really don't believe they're going to keep Devontae Adams. I
I don't think Devontae Adams is going to want to stay.
Well, I think he will, but that's the thing. He's
think
not
they're a
looking at the future.
package.
He's 29, right? 30,
He's younger. Yeah, he's
29,
in his 20s.
He can't take less money.
No,
he needs to make his money now. He wants $30 million a year. Someone's going to pay him that, and if someone, what is he?
29.
Okay, 29.
Hmm.
So if
unless the Packers give him a 3-year and Rodgers a 3-year, but you're
but
selling out the
Devontae
whole
Adams
team
is
now.
too young to take a 3-year.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
want
know.
to take a 3. He wants a
I
6,
He wants a
5-year.
4 or 5,
Yeah.
something like that, and maybe an option for him that he
Well,
decides in the
he
fifth
wants
year.
about 70 or 30 million.
That's what they're saying, 28 to $30 million a year, which
you can't pay that.
you're going to pay Rodgers and him $75 million of your cap. I mean, that's tough.
What's the cap number?
Well, I think it's over 2 now.
210
Well,
or
and
something now.
they're paying how much is on Jones' contract too right now?
Yeah, Jones
But he's around 18.
Yeah,
Well, he's going to be.
around-
He'll
Well,
be
here's
going
what you
after
lose.
One more year.
You lose the Smith brothers. You lose Amos. You don't sign. You're not going to get Alexander. Bakhtiari, you got to let him go.
Bakhtiari's got to go because of his injury. I think.
Well, there's a lot of money
I know
right,
if that's any Bakhtiari's
right,
very good.
right there. That's a lot of money. So they could do it. And if that's all they lose, that's palatable because some of those guys, like the Smith brothers, didn't have the greatest year. Amos is a good player. He had a solid year. But we didn't even have Bakhtiari. We hardly had Alexander. Alexander's great, but we hardly had him.
Here's the problem, though. When you're that top heavy with contracts, that means you have shit special teams because you're just going to throw whoever you got left out there.
Well,
Because you can't go out and get
they
a
had shit.
And
let me
you
tell you this: they had
I
shit
think
special
we
teams
talked
last
about
year.
one
this.
injury could kill
Yeah,
the team.
And I think we talked about this. You talked about the line, but we said this. I don't think your line's that great. We said this in the playoffs. Not having Bakhtiari show. San Francisco had their way with that line in the playoffs. They had their way with it.
They had other guys hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we
too,
were playing
Jenkins.
teams like you playing regular season schedule. You get in the playoffs, these guys are and that's the thing. They're missing guys, but still, you have the depth.
You're going to lose depth completely.
Yeah.
Keep drafting them.
It's kind of the NBA thing. It's the
drafting
Nets thing. You got 3 superstars. You got 7 guys that you found on the corner.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. I
So you're taking a chance. If one guy, I'm not saying Rodgers because anybody loses their star quarterback.
It doesn't matter.
But if you lose Adams, you're pretty much fucked. You're gonna have-
Then Rodgers don't throw anybody, just Aaron Jones on.
he's just gonna keep kneeling down.
He's gonna do this.
No pick.
Throw to himself.
He'll start shaving that beard and cutting that hair real quick if he's
Yeah.
got to try and find somebody else.
Not always gonna shave.
Because Lazard's gone too.
Yeah, they missed MVS is a free agent, right? Correct.
Yeah,
Lazard.
MVS wants to stay.
He wants to stay, which they'll get.
Why
him
wouldn't
that.
you?
But the thing is that I just think that he's right. The Rams thing doesn't work all the time. But you look through the history of the NFL, the only team I can think of that had done that was the Redskins in the last bunch of years. Nobody's run out and bought a bunch of guys and did this where they just traded. They don't care. They don't care about first round picks. They're in their mindset. They're like Von Miller's better than the first round pick.
Well, the Patriots they're not big on their
Tampa
picks.
did it a little bit.
New England kind of moves their picks. They'll trade them.
Yeah, but they don't go out and get very many Randy Moss. They don't do stuff like
Didn't the
that.
Cowboys have a good draft or a good trade one year?
Well, that was a
That's a
while
little
ago. That's
different.
just saying.
I know, but
not recent.
Nobody does
the
it like
Buccaneers. Buccaneers put together kind of an all-star team last
Yeah,
year.
and they won.
and
Yeah,
the,
you're
and the
right.
Rams did
Well,
it.
in a way, though, not all star because their defense.
There was a
all-
lot of players there already.
Just Brady they brought in Gronk, basically, right?
For a quarterback, it wasn't going
No,
to
they
throw 30
brought
interceptions.
Fournette.
Oh, Fournette.
They're running the whole offense essentially.
No, because they had Brady.
But they didn't do it as much as the Rams. Rams did it
Godwin was
more.
there, Evans was there,
Yeah.
3 stars on offense,
but they were there.
and they got nothing.
they
they,
really-
didn't have to pay any of them anything.
That's the thing.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
Brady, Gronk, and Fournette were way under.
Yeah, the Rams are going to be
Yeah,
in
those
cap
guys
hell.
together was probably $6 million.
Yeah,
That's
It
cheap.
might have been less.
So yeah,
than
the
that.
Rams are more
25
extreme.
and 10, and they're probably like 40.
'Cause, yeah, I
Gronk
think
was-
Fournette was only like a couple million, wasn't
Gronk
he?
was 10.
He might have been veterans minimum.
Yeah, he was low.
Fournette almost got cut.
This is a family show on Valentine's Day.
Fournette almost got cut.
Yeah, before the playoffs.
That
for the-
guy.
Whoa. Jim Lasco says Rashad Gary's contract's up too.
Ooh,
Oh, I don't think so. I thought he had one more year.
Jim knows what he's talking about.
He does know what he's talking about.
Hmm.
You gotta have respect
Nothing
for
about.
that guy.
He doesn't know anything
Well,
about
you
curling. though.
sign him. You sign him.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna need defense.
He's
Yeah.
got to be. I mean, Gary's the guy. I mean,
Yeah, you could let Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith go.
But did Preston Smith and Zadarius help him?
the good thing
You
that
know,
helps
that's
the
hard.
If
You
we're going to
gotta-
talk about the Packers,
Well, we've
for
talked.
next-
You got to the one Smith who had the good
Preston.
year this year.
Preston.
I
yeah.
would try to finagle him back just to do it.
If you could get him to take a little cut.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have Kenny
like
Clark.
$500,000.
You keep Gary. Yeah, jeez.
Get him for $75. What?
I don't know what's
And,
gonna.
and all the buffet you can eat after games.
Wouldn't it be fun though for us?
Minor
I-
leaguers contract.
It'd be fun, I think. I mean, fun. I don't know. You're gonna have to let a lot of people go, but to try to figure this out financially. I mean, Russ Ball is gonna be like, he's probably just a geek. He's breaking pencils left and right, just trying to figure this out. If Rodgers really wants to stay and Devontae really wants to stay, there's a lot of math you got to do.
Both of them will stay. If they
Well, the
get
other
enough
thing with
money.
the Packers now is that the Rodgers, the more and more you see, it's only 2 first-round picks now.
Hmm.
Nobody's giving up 3 anymore. Nobody's going to offer 3. They're saying because it's
Arizona will
he's
just
getting
get rid of
He's
Kyler.
getting deeper and deeper in his career now, and but 2 first-round picks is pretty good too.
Yeah, it's still-
and if you get stars back,
Yeah.
a couple players back, I mean, you never know.
But what's the best situation for Aaron Rodgers? I mean, we keep saying it. We said it all year that the AFC was better than the NFC this year. I think going into next year, it's going to be substantially better.
I
the
agree.
AFC.
But the Rams proved that you only got to win the one game. I guess the Packers
Well,
are going
yeah.
to get there, and then they only got to beat one team.
That's the one thing with the Packers is they've always had the chance. All they got to do is win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, and they keep fucking that up. But there's really, I mean, you look at the schedule and all. I mean, all these teams: Dallas, San Francisco, the Rams, Tampa. Maybe
I think Minnesota is going to be better.
the Bears are going to be better. But I mean, none of those teams are going to beat the crap out of you. You know that you can't beat. The Saints are going to be worse. It's, to me, they don't have a tough path still. They're going to have like 1 or 2 years left, even with a lot of problems in their
Yeah.
depth. They could still win. I don't think they can win a Super Bowl. But you got to get there.
Well, it'd be nice to get there. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's not going to be good anymore. I mean, all the powerhouses are pretty beat up except the Rams right now.
So who's your pick then to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC?
Yeah. You had the Eagles,
You're
right?
right.
No, that was
That's a sleeper.
I did write this because I just think you or die from kind of. I think Chargers Cowboys
That was the Cowboys. The only team I see that's a real. could be a
because the
powerhouse.
Cowboys are built and their defense.
You're saying
is-
that's the Super Bowl?
yeah, probably Super Bowl fans. I mean, it's really
Did they
they'll probably change by next year because the draft and all that.
keep both of their coordinators? Dallas?
Kellen Moore was still there last year, and,
Dallas.
and Dan Quinn's not leaving.
Oh, Dan Quinn didn't. Okay, 'cause I know he was up for a few.
Willie, who do you got there?
I'm gonna go with obvious one. I think Bills.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think they're gonna figure some parts what they need to.
If we would have picked 6 teams halfway through the year, would anybody even have put the Bengals in the AFC as tough as that was? I don't even think so.
No, they had a
I mean, at
Still-
the halfway point, would we
Yeah.
even have picked them to make the playoffs?
I think you're a damn fool if you don't pick the Chiefs again to try to make it.
I know that's the other.
You know,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they still have all the moving parts there, right?
Dude, the AFC is tough, man.
The Chargers, I still think their problem is their coach sometimes. He's a gambler. I mean, think about how many times that guy go. Well, he's not no Dan Campbell about going for
Yeah.
4th downs, but
Yeah.
He had
but
nothing to lose, though.
he did.
He did.
He really did. Hey, let's see how they do.
It's the knee biting mentality.
I think that Matt Stafford's going to lose a Super Bowl next year for the Bills. Well, get to see that part of Stafford's legacy is losing a Super Bowl as well.
It'd be crazy if we won a second one.
It'd be really crazy.
It would be.
But I could see that being just projecting the future on Stafford. 1 win, 1 loss.
Yeah, when I did mine, I was trying to get away from the obvious.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was trying to stay away.
Well, I mean, I could throw some
didn't know
sleepers
that.
out there, too.
No, and that's what I did. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, those
Those
are
are
I
easy
mean,
ones,
yeah.
right?
You know what? I'm gonna pick the Colts in the AFC because they're going to go out and get a quarterback. We don't know who it is. Possibly Russell Wilson. I mean, that would make sense. And that
Right,
Rams-
here's what
I
I'm
don't
going
think
with.
in the NFC. I'm going to go Dallas. I don't know.
Well, here, let me just interject on as far as here's who could be in the championship games then. In my mind, the Vikings could potentially be in an NFC championship game if I'm going to throw some teams out there. And we mentioned earlier the Chargers. I could see the Chargers being in the AFC championship against like the Bills or Chiefs or whatever. So
What a
yeah, I don't know. I think
another
the
year with
sophomore
Mac
slump.
Jones,
I'm
yeah.
a sophomore slump guy. I don't know why.
Because other teams know the book on him now.
Yeah. I mean, I still think he could be a good quarterback.
I
I
think he'll-
believe in the sophomore slump. More so on running back than
Aren't the
quarterback.
Falcons due to be back in the Super Bowl to lose?
Yeah.
Come out of nowhere for 1 year,
They can't,
like
they
they
can't
always
hold a
do.
lead in a regular season game. How do you think
I
they're going to
know.
do the
I don't
Super
think there's
Bowl?
enough there on the
I
Falcons.
don't either.
The top 10 teams in odds next year are the Chiefs, the Bills, the Rams, Niners, Bengals, Packers, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Titans, Ravens. I think, and Broncos.
Ravens a good
So
pick.
the Broncos are actually ranked ahead of the Patriots.
But that's only how many AFC teams?
What do
Only
they think?
3 or 4 in there?
One,
Four.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, Dallas.
Basically half.
Well, I think maybe they're
I
thinking
don't
that the Broncos are going to go really, really heavy on trying to find a quarterback. If it's not Rodgers, is it Russell Wilson?
I
Is
mean,
it-
the 49ers are in there, but remember the 49ers,
I don't know.
it
If they're
just,
gonna
it just works without, just works.
oh, yeah.
be there. They don't even need a quarterback in there.
And who knows how Trey Lance will play? You never know.
Yeah, maybe Trey Lance comes out and he's
Maybe
next Kyler Murray.
Debo Samuel will be the quarterback. Who knows?
No, I think we're going to get a rematch of the Super Bowl from 10 years ago when the power went out.
I don't know.
Ravens,
49ers.
49ers.
Really?
No.
Get
That
Lamar-
Ravens team, yeah. I mean, they
get
took
Lamar
some
Jack-
lumps.
He was hurt all year, so.
So, yeah.
But Harbaugh will
And-
lose this
and-
time because he's not
and
playing
remember
against his
too-
brother.
Yeah.
And remember, too, the Ravens didn't have any defense because everybody was getting hurt for them.
Yeah.
All season, they had guys go down.
Yeah.
Well, we got to see if Lamar Jackson ever does anything again because
I think he's going to come back next
he
year.
had an MVP, what, 2-3 years ago? And now
They got to get him. Oh, they got to get him a strong wide receiver number 2 to go up with Hollywood.
got
and
Hollywood.
He just needs a healthy team.
That's the
Guys,
thing, too.
running
His
backs, how many running backs they go through?
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
They had
Dobkins, he
they
was
had the
yeah they got J.K.
Scream.
Dobbins coming back.
Dobbins, whatever.
they had the summer camp thing where the 2 guys tore their ACLs back to back. So
Yeah, it was.
they were just beat up all season, I think.
They didn't. Oh no, that was. I'm thinking Jacksonville. No, Jacksonville didn't use their. They had Rob. Was it
No, they had
James?
oh yeah, James Robinson.
Robinson.
They had, yeah.
They didn't use him at all.
Urban Meyer was
Well-
Urban Meyer's only worried about going to the club after the game.
So I don't know. It's to me, there's the NFC's really weak, really weak.
Especially
Maybe they'll pick the Lions. Somebody pick the Lions.
Especially if all these
I'll
quarterbacks
pick
leave.
the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lose one or two, say if Murray and Russell Wilson leave, there's only Stafford and Rodgers pretty much, and Dak.
Well,
That's
it
it.
depends where Murray and them go.
But I'm
too.
saying they're going to go. You'd think they'd go
I,
AFC.
at this point, I don't put Murray in that same conversation with those guys, even if he goes somewhere. I don't. I think Murray has. I think he's took steps backwards the last few. Every year he has
After
a
that-
problem.
Dude, he starts off on fire.
After they started struggling, he sort of got really
Yeah.
The last
sort of Aaron Rodgers mentality. about
Jim
it.
Jim said he has one more year, but it's a dead cap year where they can get out from under it without a cap hit. They sign the 2 big boys. It takes me a while to type and sound out words. So yeah, he's not a free agent, but they can do it to
Okay.
save it from them being screwed over later.
Jim, just hit that microphone button and talk into it.
He speaks gibberish, so
You know, NFC Championship matchup this year? Lions Rams. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would.
would be awesome.
And the Lions win.
You know who went to Trump's Super Bowl party this year?
Kelsey Grammer. Is that the one?
No. Urban Meyer and his wife. Apparently some girl was sitting on his lap and she went to the bathroom. And then Bill Belichick and his longtime partner, Linda Holiday.
Donnie Holiday's sister.
Is it really?
No. Did you know Dr. Dre is the most believable doctor I've seen on TV in over 2 years?
More than Dr. Oz?
that was gonna be my joke too.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Nah,
Did you guys see one of the people that they run they have the screens for the different camera angles in the stadium,
They took a video. They caught Snoop Dogg smoking a
Yeah.
joint before the halftime performance.
Jim said that when Willie said to use that microphone, he said he thought that was a dirty symbol. He was scared to use it. Thanks for letting him know. So let's talk a little about the NBA for a minute. Trades happened last week. A few we'll go over real quick. That matter. Porzingis went to the Wizards in a big deal. Dinwiddie and Bertans went in part of the trade. Suns acquire Holiday from the Wizards. Aaron Holiday, not the one we know. I'm trying to think what else before we get to the ones.
Did you mention Porzingis?
Yep,
Porzingis.
So what's the deal with Porzingis now? I've heard he's
hurt.
like on his down, or he's not the
number 2 guy. He can't be. Which when he was in New York, he was a stud.
Yeah, well,
he couldn't be it in Dallas.
Yeah, they were doing okay with him. I don't know.
I think him and Luka didn't get along.
Yeah,
which I thought their games played well together.
Yeah, CJ McCollum went to the Blazers. Went to the Pelicans.
Yeah,
in the Blazers deal. And then the other ones that matter to what's going on around here, James Harden goes to the 76ers to team up with Joel Embiid, and we had Ben Simmons being part of that deal for Harden going back to the net or going to the Nets. What do you? And then the Bucks ended up getting Serge Ibaka for
is
DiVincenzo.
he playing tonight?
I'm not sure.
He's supposed to shoot it
But
out.
Harden's not going to play till after the All-Star
Yeah,
break.
yeah,
He has
yeah.
a left hamstring injury.
So in those trades, how do you think that affects the top 3 seeds or the way it's going to work out? And now Levine also might have a bigger injury than people think right now. So Levine might be hurting.
Yeah, he's out for a while. I saw.
He went to see a specialist, so who knows what's going on in LA? So that could affect him. I heard today. So what do you guys think that has to do with the 3 trades? What do you think that how that affects the East?
I don't think it does too much. I mean, I like the Ibaka deal. I think that's
Big rebounding and defensive help for the Bucks.
thanks, Jace.
Yep.
I don't really think that there's too much effect on the Harden Simmons one. In my opinion, I mean, Simmons now hasn't played for however, I think that's more of a trade for next year, really. Maybe they figure things out where that flows well with Durant, and I don't know what the scoop is on Kyrie and everything like that. So maybe that works next year. But I think the Nets are done for this season. I think they're really done. I mean, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be a high seed. I think that they're
playing.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that the Nets, not with Durant out. I mean, I know he's going to be back, but I just think they're going to be way.
Has Simmons said that he's going to play?
Oh yeah,
I think he's excited about going.
I think that team's not going to be one of the harder teams.
This year, you think?
Yeah,
this
they
year?
add Simmons and you get Durant, who arguably is one of the best players on the planet. And you get him, and they also have the shooting to go along with them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need Simmons to shoot a bunch on that team, which the
Well,
Harden.
that's why
remember,
it'll work, but not. I don't think it works this year.
The Harden factor, and the one thing that Simmons does better than Harden, he plays defense better.
Yeah,
and Simmons takes pride in doing getting the ball to guys open and stuff like that. I think that's huge for them. I think it's, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You're right. It could be a year, but I think I think both trades are bad for the Bucks.
Well, that's what I was gonna. If you want, I was gonna go into the Sixers.
Yeah.
I think the Sixers, it has an impact for now, for this year. It really does. And I mean, obviously Harden is an incredible talent. But he is definitely a distraction, and he could definitely affect the flow of that offense in a negative way, I think, because he is so selfish. And if he dribbles the ball 500 times and then shoots, how is Embiid gonna? I mean, I just think that I think it could have a negative effect. It could have a positive effect because they're great players, but I just think it could potentially have a negative effect as well on Embiid.
The inside out factor. Carl just posted something, Willie. Someone let Willie know the rest of the filling has been canceled because faulty handle. Is that true? I don't think so.
Is he messing with you? What the hell is going on here?
So I think
I just don't get. I mean, Harden's supposed to be one of the greats. Simmons, nobody wanted for a year. and now.
Well,
so
because
you-
it's a max deal. That's
Yeah,
why.
I know,
That's
but
tough.
it's
Yeah.
weird to me. I mean,
I think
to me,
Simmons
it's a-
makes him better. I really do. I think it's just better. I think it's a better. With your
we
Durant
said
has,
that last year.
Durant has to be healthy.
Harden, too.
I didn't. I thought they were a good team, but they had a win game. And you know what? Eric will disagree, but Harden's 100% healthy, and so is Kyrie Irving in the playoffs. The Bucks get killed. I know. They were this far away from losing with those guys getting out of lineup the whole 7-game series.
It's not even close.
Do you think they can handle him right now if Simmons comes back and is at
If they're all healthy, it's going to be different. The Bucks aren't playing well. They're up. Look, they're getting killed by Portland tonight at home.
Yeah, they're down by 16.
They're getting smoked.
God, they played
Portland's
well
one of the
for
worst
3
teams
games,
in the
though.
NBA.
They played
got rid of their
so
best player a
well.
week ago.
Scott,
and Lillard's hurt.
The Bucks played so well that 3-game stretch, and then they got beat pretty bad by the Suns. And now this is the next game, and we're saying that they're playing
Is
bad.
Giannis playing?
Yeah.
I think they.
Yeah, I don't know
Here's
if
the
they're
thing: they played the Suns, and I know it was 4-game road. I get it. Blah blah blah. And the Suns been.
The
Giannis
Suns
played
were
terrible.
so
Giannis was not playing.
flipping.
Okay, Giannis been playing. I
The
thought he was
Suns
hurt.
were so good that night, and they hit everything, and we just.
That's because the Bucks don't play great 3-point defense all the time. That's the
I
problem.
don't know if it was even just threes. It
been a
was they
problem
were
for
just
years.
efficient under the hoop, outside the perimeter. The Suns did everything right in that game.
I just think the Bucks are good. Bucks are right now. They're the best in the NBA. They are because they're champions. They have 3 great players. Well, 2, Holiday and Giannis. I think Milton is the. But I think the big problem right now is Lopez not playing.
Yeah.
And I think with them getting Ibaka, I think Lopez is. I don't know. Maybe it's not as good as people. I thought he was coming back. They said, and all of a sudden he's not.
I think he is. I think Ibaka's
a great pickup. I think Ibaka's
Ibaka's
awesome
a complimentary because he's not a
24 tonight so far.
Yeah.
What did you say?
He's played 24 minutes. Tonight.
Okay. I thought you said he scored 24 because that's what I was just going to say. He's not going to be your guy to score 24 points.
He's going to be a
He's
defender.
going to be your
rebounder.
guy to score 8 points, have 10, 12 rebounds, have
Get
6,
those big those
4 or
big
5
tip-ins.
blocks
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
steals, everything. And he'll complement Brooke if and when he comes back.
Yeah.
Is Monroe still around? Or did we
No.
call?
Yeah, Monroe's playing tonight.
Oh, they have to. Yeah,
10-day
probably
contract.
10 days. Yeah.
9 minutes.
The only problem I
9
don't like what they're
rebounds.
doing here is that I do like the Ibaka pickup, but it's like they got. I don't know how you say it, but it's like they've gotten slower, kind of. I mean, think about it. I mean, Portis is starting. What happens when all these guys come back? Portis is not going to start anymore. I mean, it's going to be hard pressed to start Portis, Giannis, and Lopez. That's not a great defensive lineup.
No, you won't start Portis then.
But Portis gets kind of bumped out where he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
But defensively, you can't start off 3 because they're not good enough to guard. I mean, Giannis obviously wants, but you have to certain matchup you got to find, and they may be on the court at the same time when they find the right matchup. You're not going to have Portis guarding Durant, most likely. I mean, he could, just switch off do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the next thing is about Durant being healthy too. Durant might not be 100% when he gets back.
That's
You
why I
never
just
know.
don't think it works this year. I mean, I get it. I mean, I actually think Simmons going there is better for them than what Harden was.
Oh
doing.
yeah. That's why I look at he's going to be a guy that, and I think, and here's the thing about Simmons right now, he's got something to prove now.
Mm-hmm.
To prove Doc Rivers wrong what he said after the game and go, hey, you said I got to work on I worked on my shooting, and he wants to make sure he proves Doc Rivers I worked on it. You watch,
Yeah.
he's going to be a different player. I don't think he's going to be a 45% shooter, but I think he's going to be a different player. Lonzo Ball did it, changed his shot around, got a real good shooter, solid shooter, NBA shooter. He was terrible before, so I don't know. I just don't like the Bucks the way they played. I mean, the last 3 years they always had those lulls in the season. But they just lose seasons. Like they go out and beat a good thing.
Well, they have no Giannis tonight, like you was saying. I thought they did really, really well on that 4-game stretch. Other than they lost to the Suns, and I almost expected that.
Probably the only playoff team they play on that road trip, though.
Yeah, Lakers.
A legit playoff
Was Blazers,
when the 55 teams
Well,
make it, of course.
Clippers,
Clippers without Paul
Lakers.
George or Kawhi. They
And
beat him.
Kawhi, they're saying might not come back the rest of the
He
season.
won't
now.
come back. They're going to see him.
Well, they're saying,
Keeper.
hey,
No, I
Jeez,
traded him
Oh.
hey, they're saying he might
Capella
not come back
ever.
to LA. Right.
I could see that.
Oh, well, he's
Kawhi-
coming back to the NBA.
Oh, well, yeah, but they're saying.
Well, I can see that. Kawhi's a
they're
There's
saying
weird-
that he
rumors.
might-
Talk
No, I
about
was
a
talking about
talk
LA.
about a head
No.
case. Kawhi Leonard's a crazy person.
Someone thought they were at they took a picture of them at the game. They were at the game last night. Kawhi and Paul George, and the meme was.
How can they afford it? They haven't played in years.
Someone put them up and said, "Oh, at the game." And someone wrote, "Yeah, I like to be on the court."
Sorry, I beat you to that joke.
So so you guys think about?
Wait. It kind of shows how much LeBron cares about how his season's going. Having a good old time at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, but he's not.
I know, but it's just,
okay. I'm gonna defend
He's
LeBron. Was
got
sit
it,
home and
yeah.
pout? I mean, he's it's like, okay, I have a bad day at work. Should I not go to the Bucks game? Oh yeah, I'm busy at work. I can't go to the Bucks game.
Well, then I'm not going Thursday.
You guys did see his quote though after the Bucks game, right? That he doesn't. He goes, this team could not play to the same level as the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh.
They won't at all this season. So he's said his Lakers are pretty much done.
Yeah, well, that's great from your leader.
Yeah,
Lot
great to hear.
of his picking too. I'm sure.
Yeah,
he was in somebody's ear. You know that.
I have a feeling he's going to force his way out next year.
And then go in the Jamaican bobsled team.
I
Because
said
they're
that-
going to
I
start a
said
fourth.
that-
They have a bobsled team.
They're going to get a fourth team.
Well, who has a bobsled team?
I heard
Jamaica.
Ed's just telling. He's been making shit up at this point.
Are you kidding me?
Jamaica has a bobsled team.
Yep.
No, but back to the Lakers. I said this 2 weeks ago for the trade line. They should have traded anything they could have to get picks and just rebuild that team. I would have traded Davis if they could have. I would have traded Russ Westbrook. I would have traded all of them and said, "We're trading you. No trade clause. Fine. We're gonna wherever you guys want to go. We'll figure it out. We're gonna rebuild. They need to rebuild the franchise. That franchise is too historic to not be part of relevant in
Well,
in the
keep
league.
LeBron and who's the other guy? Kuzma or whatever.
Kuzma's gone.
He's gone too, huh?
Yeah, Kuzma.
Who they got left?
They should have
Kuzma,
kept.
the guy
I
they
always
should have
say
kept.
they should have kept Kuzma
Yeah, it's like-
and the other guy that the Bucks that Grayson Allen took out from the Bulls. He plays.
Caruso.
Caruso. Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
Caruso on. If you keep Caruso and Kuzma and not get Russell Westbrook, Lakers are much better, hands down.
Yeah.
And not even a conversation. Not even
But they got to
conversation.
have the
In that
superstars.
Laker game, I watched off and on most of that game. Here's what Russell Westbrook did three downs down court, not like spanned out 3 times. Turnover, stepped out of bounds on a dribble, turnover. That's what he did.
And then he was getting lazy too and committing dumb fouls
Oh.
too. Yeah, because I
How
think he's just
He ain't
done.
even starting no more.
How is he so bad from being essentially the best player in basketball?
Well, I think what happened, you go there and then you got LeBron looking over your shoulder, and the problem is you know what though? He accepted it. That's his problem.
Yeah.
He chose it.
Mhm.
He could have went anywhere else and played and stay with the
But-
Wizards for Christ's sake.
But he could be a guy that gets out of there and kind of like Chris Paul. We were saying this about Chris Paul a few years ago. He's like, this guy sees it. I don't think I'd want him on the Bucks.
Yeah, but Chris
Remember that?
Paul is a
Right.
different.
He is
person.
incredible.
Chris Paul's a different person than Russell.
But I'll tell you what,
hands down. Chris Paul's
he's
always been
better than he
pass
was
first.
last year.
He's great in commercials too.
He looked so good the other night.
Why didn't the Bucks go out after Westbrook?
I wouldn't
What,
want Westbrook.
what? You have no
I
money
wouldn't
for
take-
that.
I would
know.
not take Westbrook.
That's a lot of money.
I like I said, I think Chris Paul and Westbrook are totally different players. I understand what you're saying about
Yeah.
the rejuvenating, but
Could be.
Paul was wherever he went, they were always good. It wasn't like he was hurting a team. I mean, when he was in Houston, they were good. You never watch a game and watch Chris Paul and go, yeah, this guy's out of his element. He was one of the
Yeah.
best players on the team. Russell Westbrook in the Lakers looks like he does not belong there.
That's true.
He
does.
doesn't. You watch something and he does.
Yeah.
I've never seen Chris Paul in a game and went, yeah, Chris Paul's not very. Yeah,
But you said something. I think
I would
that's
love the Bucks
probably-
to get Chris Paul.
That's
a couple years
probably
ago.
true.
I would have took him.
You said something that's probably true. Is LeBron's probably draining the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Just draining them.
We've talked about this before. That Oklahoma City team that had Harden, Westbrook,
Serge
Durant,
Ibaka.
and Ibaka.
Stephen
And the
Adams.
only one anybody even wants anymore is Durant, obviously.
Sorry to interrupt, I gotta
No,
read
it's
what
fine.
last one said. So tell Willie a hockey dad on my daughter's team is on the Racine curling board. And he can get us the keys to be on this show on the ice. We can go there and play. But the best part is, and he writes after the NBA is hard to watch as my wife kind of wears things.
My God.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, I see Couch in his future.
I'm cheering for the ice part.
Jim, can you just send some video just for us to verify?
So that's the NBA. Okay,
Wow.
but yeah, I still need the book.
Jerry Buss or John C. Riley.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Oh,
great
wow.
show coming on. Laker 1 and 8.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I saw the preview for that. I'm like,
That's
whoa.
gonna be great.
You know what I said? I said, wow.
Who's playing Michael Cooper?
Mr. Cooper. The guy playing hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, that guy. That would be awesome.
So, what do you guys got? Anything? I know you got other things. So, what do you got?
I got one more thing on the NBA.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, who's this guy? 27.7 points a game, 5.2 assists, 5.1 rebounds, 51% field goal, 33% from three. And are we talking about him enough as an MVP candidate? Who's this player?
Can you give me is he a Buck?
No, he's
Okay.
not a Buck.
Okay.
East or West?
East. And it's Kyrie. And his team's been surfacing around the one seed a fair amount this season.
Well, it's got to be DeMar DeRozan.
Yes. Are we talking about him at all, about an MVP?
I don't think it's a bad choice at all.
He was a player of the week. NBA player of the week
Yeah.
this week.
I know the odds have gone like Embiid and people
I
say
want,
Giannis,
if
obviously.
it's not
every year.
Giannis, I want Giannis, obviously, because I think he deserves it. He's
Yeah.
playing just as well as he's played the last 4 years, no different.
Sure.
But I really want to see John Morant.
Or DeMar DeRozan win it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
think
two guys that need to win it to make this change and get these guys. Don't even have LeBron to be in the top 5 anymore, right?
No,
Because
no. Yeah.
I don't care what he does if they're not a playoff team.
Yeah.
It's almost that whole. You need to be relevant to be like and I agree with baseball. The MVP, it sucks sometimes, but you need to be relevant to win the MVP.
Yeah.
I believe you need to be a team.
Well, especially with what John Morant's doing in that Grizzlies team, keeping them going every day.
Well, they're a good team. They're
Yeah.
good.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
They've been.
I mean, I
they've
think
secretly built a good team.
Morant's obviously a little bit more exciting than DeRozan, but I mean, what this guy's doing,
Yep.
and this guy's been crapped on most of his career, getting traded for Kawhi, and you're going here and you're going there. You can't get it done. And
Remember a couple years ago when they were out there, we wanted him for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
Oh
get him for the
God.
Bucks, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
Ooh, you know what? Would get rid of Middleton.
Oh, I'd take him
Well,
over Middleton in a
remember
heartsaid.
that was even. With
Oh
Clay-
no, Middleton's the best. I love
I
Middleton.
never said. I said he's a
I
top
love
30.
Middleton.
I said he's a top 30 player.
love Middleton. Top 30. You think he's a top 30 player?
Middleton.
You're insane.
Top 30.
I asked the guys at work and they laughed.
30.
And they're Bucks fans. Top 30. We named like 3 teams in the
Isn't he on the All-Star
That's
team?
just the top one off of every team would knock him out of there.
Okay. We did this on the way home. We were talking on the way home.
All
in the
right, I
car.
guess I
Is he
need to
better
write it
than
out.
any
I need to
team's
write it
number
out.
one? Any team's number one?
Wait, think of the Suns. There's probably 3 to 4 guys who take over him.
Yeah.
The Lakers,
Two.
no matter how much we dislike we talked about him. Well, obviously you're gonna take LeBron over him, Anthony Davis for sure. That's okay. That's 5. We just take 3 from the Suns.
Yeah.
So 5 already. I got
And then
5.
they got the Nets and the Phillies.
You're gonna take Harden over him, no matter how much you like him. You're gonna take Durant. I mean, this is
There's a lot of obscure teams.
How
in
many
the
teams
NBA,
are in
though,
the
I don't
league?
think-
How many teams are in the league?
30. Oh,
32.
no, 30.
Would Middleton be the number one player on any
Oh,
team?
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
So that's already 30.
Oh.
That's already 30.
There's some NBA teams I bet you couldn't even
Pistons.
name one player on.
Name it.
Kings.
Fox.
Yeah, Fox. I take Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox over Middleton.
But
Heel's
Hield-
gone.
Hield has been
Heel's
Shit
gone.
this year, believe me.
Heel's gone.
Yeah, Hield's
gone.
gone. He got traded.
Yeah.
Oh, to where?
Yeah.
Where? What?
Yeah.
I
Buddy
put
Hield
him in
got
my
traded.
starting lineup
This
I
is one of the
take
first trades.
Vladdy or Stojakovic over him.
Oh yeah. No,
Not being funny.
no, yeah. I know.
Believe.
Oh, back
All
in the
right.
old days.
Anyway,
I'm talking.
yeah, this was not
Oh, I
anything.
thought you were like,
Hey, this was not anything that was supposed to be about Chris Middleton. That's why I think he's your love child, because you always want to go Chris Middleton. I didn't even freaking say Chris Middleton.
no, because we wanted
I was
DeRozan.
talking about DeMar DeRozan.
Did he just say something? It wasn't.
This is getting explicit.
I was
he
talking
says
about
the F word
DeMar DeRozan.
before he said cunt.
You know what you're doing? You know what you're
You're
doing?
right. You're right.
You're Lamar Odom, DeMar DeRozan right now.
I'm Rogering. I'm gonna Roger this
You're
whole
Roger.
thing right now.
You're Rogering it.
Hey, I got Roger back outside. What? Munson?
Anyway, that's my 2
No,
cents
stop.
on the
No,
NBA.
let's keep going with this.
Well, no,
wanna
I
know
was just
30
saying.
30 people better.
No, I don't want to have that conversation. I want to talk about DeMar DeRozan.
You should be a politician.
I bet we can
You're
find.
like Joe Biden.
You know what? I
I
you know what
never
I'll
said
do?
that.
Hey, you know what I'll do? In my honest opinion, I'll go through the NBA. This is
I
homework
will
for next
too.
week,
I will too.
and I will rank the players, and we'll see where Middleton is.
I don't.
And
But
I-
he said, okay, but he's right.
I
though.
might have him 55 for all I know after I do the
So
exercise.
30 teams. You already name one. Sacramento was a good.
So
choice.
even if 5 teams, say 5 teams, he's
So-
not
so
the number one guy.
I can name probably 23 teams that 2 players are.
Yeah, that's the other.
And he
Okay, so
honestly,
maybe I'm way off.
He arguably might not be the second best player in his team.
Well, I think Holiday's better than him.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Bucks are the top echelon. You're not gonna. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of obscure. Once you go down to the bottom of the NBA, you're gonna be like, Middleton might be the best. He might be the second best player on this team. Might be
I don't
the
think
best.
he's better than Derrick Rose.
I,
you paused.
This is a guy that
I'm going to say he's not even top-
single-handedly won playoff games for you last year.
Not for me.
When Giannis was out.
You know, I don't know.
You want to guess right now where he's going to end up when we do this?
Yeah, you guys
Little
guess.
thing?
Make some guesses.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna be.
Who the hell am I talking about?
57.
I was going to say
Okay, and I said
60s.
maybe that's who knows. I've never done this.
Middleton?
I was going to say
Yeah.
62.
I'm a
Okay,
53.
how many does Middleton have tonight in the game? They're getting killed when they need him.
Let me look it
Yeah,
up.
he should be the top dog tonight.
Maybe he is.
Should
Maybe
be.
he'll prove me wrong.
11 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Grayson Allen has more points.
What's his shooting percentage?
Shooting
What's
for-
he shooting?
3 for 14.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
Hey,
One of seven. One
Hey,
of
they're
seven
right
from
back
three.
in this
yeah,
game.
1 of 7
Well,
from
One of
It's a
7 from
9-point game right
Oh,
now.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
right
good.
there.
Okay, so okay, we'll get off.
So you guys hate DeMar DeRozan, by the way, because you just
All I have to say is
I
whole
love
conversation.
3 years ago.
I mean, I love.
I love Lamb.
Middleton's going to get a triple double.
Great.
2 more rebounds. He's
3 for 11, 14.
yeah,
3 years ago.
He better start passing.
3 for 14.
He better start passing.
One.
3 years
Some
ago.
of them were passes. They were shots.
Wait, do air balls count as passes?
He's averaging 19 and a half points a game, 5.2 assists, and 5.5 rebounds this year.
Okay.
Wow.
Good numbers.
Hall of Famer. Only to return kick.
Noara's outscored him today.
And Noara dribbles just like him, though. They dribble the
Noara.
same. They're both terrible
Noara.
dribblers.
And they play the same line of
Well, you got
defense.
any dad jokes, Willie?
I do.
I do.
Wait, before
I thought we were going to talk about Adrian Peterson. Speaking of good dads,
3 years ago when Klay Thompson was up for contract, I wish the Bucks would have went and got him.
oh, no
Well, because that was
shit.
the thing. Trade. Oh,
Well,
we're
that-
going to trade Middleton.
And DiVincenzo
For Klay Thompson,
at the time, yeah, because he was coming off an almost awesome MVP year, and they just won the finals.
and you think this is something that we wouldn't agree with you on?
Yeah.
Of course, we would take Klay Thompson.
Oh, well,
Ask us about how to do your hair next time. We'll give you better tips.
I'm doing it red.
No, you're not.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Go ahead, Willie. Give us a dad joke.
What do the movies, The Titanic and The Sixth Sense, have in common?
Titanic and Sixth Sense. I don't know.
I see dead people.
Oh, geez, that's horrible. I did a Titanic joke last week.
What happens when you touch Dwayne Johnson's butt?
You get rock hard.
I like that one.
You hit rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Get it.
Strange young man. He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing. Parents are
I'm
probably
looking.
idiots too.
Just go ahead if you got some.
Hey, is butt cheeks one word, or should I spread them apart?
That's a winner.
I
like that.
got one. What does the devil in the details mean? It means the government just passed the budget. My wife told me I was incapable of multitasking, so I got drunk and embarrassed her at the same time.
Very good. Mike Tyson is so religious, he punched people in the faith.
That's a winner.
I like the look on your face.
You had to wait and go, what?
I like it. I like it.
All right, I got a little one here.
You bet you do. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day. That was the best joke of the night. But it's true.
Yeah, baby.
But it's sad, but it's true.
Willie, you're up.
That's what she said.
I'll have another one. I got 3 jokes.
I don't want to bring this down. I don't want a dud here.
Got a polio joke.
I don't have really any good to touch that one.
What the hell's going on here? You're gonna touch this little one now? Is that what you're gonna do?
Willie, don't
All
stroke
right,
my
here you
ego.
go. I was at Walmart last weekend and they had Batman shampoo, but I couldn't believe they didn't have any Conditioner Gordon.
Conditioner. Where are you finding these? They're awesome today.
I visited my new friend in his apartment. He told me to make myself at home. so I threw him out. I hate visitors.
A man went to the doctor and the doctor told the doctor, "Hey doc, every night I have this dream where there's a bunch of cats playing football." Doctor replied, "That's weird." Man says, "Yeah, well, what should I do, doc?" Doctor says, "You should probably skip sleeping tomorrow, and then you come back to me and tell me what happened." Man says, "Tomorrow? Are you kidding me? It's the championship game."
That's awesome.
I was trying to keep up with football.
I don't have a funny one. I have a riddle.
Oh, let's hear it. So we
Riddle.
could try to guess it.
What word has 3 consecutive double letters?
What word has 3 consecutive double letters? Consecutive, huh?
3 consecutive double
MISSISSIPPI.
No. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born ready.
Bookkeeper.
Nice. That's a good riddle, man.
Yeah.
Way to bring us down.
I know.
How is it 3 consecutive double letters?
O-O-K-K-E-E.
Oh, yeah, Buck. Yeah.
Er.
Sorry. Yeah.
Book. Keep.
I found a used football in a secondhand store. This is more of a Willie joke.
Oh boy.
I picked it up and took it to the counter. "How much is this?" I asked. Owner says, "That'll be $5. Would you like me to pump it up for you?" "Of course, thanks a lot." So he got the small pump from under the counter, and a few seconds later, all was as good as new. He goes, "That'll be $10. I'm like, $10? But you said it was $5 just a second ago." He goes, "Yeah, sorry, inflation."
Where
was that? Secondhand store?
Yeah.
You buy a raspberry beret too.
Wow.
They got them there.
Jim Lasco wrote out he was circumcised a whale. And now 4 skin divers.
Way to go, Lasco.
You really are a funny guy.
Foreskin divers. I bet he heard that at the.
I got the Jordan laugh.
He heard that at the rink. Guaranteed.
I have one more riddle for you. Okay. I run but never walk. I have a bed but never sleep. I have a mouth but never eat.
A river.
You've heard it before.
Yeah, that's an
No, it's pretty easy. That one wasn't bad.
Bookkeeper.
Bookkeeper. Beekeeper. Beekeeper.
Hey, what happens when
No,
you touch Dwayne
beekeeper,
Johnson's butt?
beekeeper.
You get rock hard.
And then Ed pulls out his little one.
Our jokes
I
are
wasn't
way
gonna go
funnier than
there.
the book ones.
I got a joke. Chris Middleton.
Hey.
No, the joke is Chris Middleton, top 30.
I got an even better joke.
You got one?
Packer special teams.
Oh,
Jeez, you're getting mean.
Dang, that's just
God, the
mean,
blonde.
man.
Willie
he's
got
like
one?
He's got the Brooks Koepka.
Isn't
thing
it
going.
ironic? Isn't it just like what do you call it?
Ironical.
Not ironic, but almost. Well, kind of. Not ironic, but not that I really care about how Bear fans are morons and blah, and Packer fans too.
We're
but
all
how
morons.
the Bear fans probably laughed at the Packer special teams,
Mhm.
but then Devin Hester don't get this
Yeah.
don't get Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Jeez, your greatest player didn't even make the Hall of Fame. And our 18th best safety got in.
Oh, come on. Leroy Butler's our 18th best safety.
Maybe in
I will do
history.
this. I will take Leroy Butler on the Bucks over Middleton.
Nice. Not Jimmy
Trying to
Butler,
do
Leroy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Leroy.
I got one based on our conversation about Lamar Odom. So years ago, I tried to explain to my 4-year-old daughter that I'm perfectly normal to accidentally poop your pants, but she's still making fun of me.
I got
How do you guys circumcise a whale? Send down 4 skin divers. That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
all right. Here, I'll do this one. So, mom and dad are at the house. Mom was walking past the daughter's room. Here. Oh, she looks in the door, cracks open. The daughter's just sitting there going crazy. Like, honey, what are you doing? She's like, Mom, I'm 35. I'm unmarried. And this is as close as I'll ever come to a husband. Leave me alone. Well, next day, the dad just happened to be walking down the hallway. He doesn't want to open the door. He opens it up. She's just going at it again. And he's like, honey, really? She's like,
Dad, I'm 35. I'm unmarried, and this is close as I'm ever going to come to a husband. Just leave me alone. So the third day, wife comes home from grocery shopping, walking past the living room, and she hears zzz. She looks in there, and her husband's sitting on the couch with a vibrator next to him. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Shut up. I'm trying to watch the game with my future son-in-law."
Chris is laughing the entire
You knew that
time.
one, Chase? You just like vibrator joke?
Okay, I got a joke. I'll leave McGinty.
That's what she said.
A little one?
I'm into my pussy willow joke, but I'll save it.
I love the pussy willow joke.
We got another one. You look like
Yeah,
you
what
like a pack on your
happened?
tongue.
What happened when the 10-year-old cannibal spilled his soup?
I don't. What happened?
His mother gave him an earful.
Well, in honor of Valentine's Day and marriage, here's one. I hate it when my wife gets mad at me for being lazy. It's not like it did anything.
Jeez. You know, the jokes are funny. It's the way you tell them that they're not funny.
Chris Middleton.
Now that's hilarious. You really are a funny guy.
Chris Middleton, top 30.
Crickets.
Crickets.
Oh, man.
All right, what else we got?
What else we got?
I have
This day in history.
I do.
Oh, there you go.
I
Hit
do
it.
have this day in sports history. Where's my notes? They're all messed up.
Let's hurry up or Spotify's going to kick us off of here.
On this day in sports history, in 1966, Wilt Chamberlain breaks the NBA scoring record at 20,884 points. And in 1987, the Detroit Pistons and the 76ers, they played at the Pontiac Silverdome, and they had the third largest crowd ever at 53,745. Actually, I went to a couple of those games. They used to give $1 tickets away at Wendy's, and you could go. I mean, they would just
That's
pack the
crazy.
place. It was crazy. What else do we got here? In 2018, American snowboarder Shaun White wins an unprecedented third Olympic half pipe gold medal.
Well, that wasn't unprecedented. Didn't he win it again?
He did win it, but that this was in 2008.
What did he do this year? Did he?
Unprecedented.
He didn't get anything.
He didn't get anything.
Oh, really?
He still looked good though. He looked like he still competed a little bit.
Did
or-
you hear the sound clip of the guy talking about it? Like, you got robbed. This was a bunch of crap. He was just tearing them
Really?
up. I can't see one wrong thing on that, and I've been doing this for 20 years. It's great. He just tears.
What did he finish? Like top 6 or something?
I don't know. How do you finish the video?
I don't know. I don't.
I can't watch. I mean, it's so hard to watch right now.
What's his name? Mean Flying Banana? I
Flying,
He was
flying
the
tomato.
Flying tomato.
forgot.
He probably has banana, but
Is Guns nickname Flying Sausage?
I remember
Adds
this.
a little smoky.
Remember this day.
What's Glenn's
Alexander Graham Bell put in an application for the patent for the telephone.
You remember that?
I do.
And
Yeah.
Facebook.
Willie was his
The
mentor.
next day he did Facebook. It was just too
Oh
late.
no, Willie ate Mentos with him. He was his mentor. We had Mentos.
Well, I do remember.
They didn't have
well,
that back then.
You're talking about YouTube was registered on this day in 2005.
Whose tube?
2005.
Yeah.
No shit.
Isn't that crazy? That's not that long ago.
No, you think about it. And then in 1991, Silence of the Lambs was released in the theaters. And you know,
Hello, Clarice.
30 years ago, a movie that started off of Saturday Night Live was released on this day.
Blues Brothers.
Nope.
Oh, it was
It was 92.
30 years on it. Would it be the ones the two brothers dance all the time?
No,
the
no,
Roxbury.
no.
Night at the Roxbury.
Guys they like Stan Makita Donuts.
Oh, Wayne
Yeah,
and
it's
Garth.
Wayne and Garth.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
And
Yeah.
they're
30 years ago today.
Really?
Wow.
They're 75 years old and they're still trying to do that skit, you know.
Wayne's World. What else do I have? Got some birthdays if you're interested. Woody Hayes was born on this day
Wow.
in 1913.
That's crazy.
And he had national championships in 54, 57, 61, 68, and 70.
And then he punched an opposing player and got
And
fired.
Clemson. Yep.
Yeah.
I watched that game.
See what Carl said about that run from the tomato.
Mhm.
So it was a rigged thing.
I read about the Chinese snowboarder who ended up in first on the last run. White came in fourth. His runs were just okay. Is the Chinese guy or the White's runs okay?
Yeah, I think the other guys.
The Chinese guys were okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Those judges, I'm telling you,
It's tough to vote when you got a gun to your head.
Yeah.
That's that. What was it? Or tennis player.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
With a guy in the mirror behind her, you can see him.
And you got the cheating Russians.
That can still skate but can't win awards. Why are you wasting my time? Go home.
Right, go home.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What happens if? So now, if you got skate, I mean,
So stupid, isn't it? I
it's
mean,
not in speed skating or anything, is it?
No, it was figure skating.
So figure skating.
Skating.
Okay.
Yep.
So they still look beautiful. They're just a 13-year-old doper.
I don't know.
How are they going to defend that? Because somebody's holding her arm. That's damn child trafficking, essentially.
Oh yeah.
You think about it. That girl ain't going down to the corner and like, hey, yo, I need some Andro.
Yeah.
She's getting somebody's holding her
she
down.
took like some type of heart medication. I think it's supposed to help them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's called Viagra. It helps.
She didn't take
it's
it.
just
She
heart
was
medication,
served it.
honey.
Makes her legs really go straight.
Wow.
Look at that perfect double axle.
Like she can't even bend her legs.
Triple sow cow.
In 1960, this quarterback was born, and he was in
Tom Brady.
4 Super Bowls.
Jim Kelly.
Yep, you got it.
Well, the 4 Super Bowls kind of gave
My
it away.
favorite football name of all time. One of them, 1969. Harry Colin was born
In 69.
You just
where's the
made
button?
I don't know what I'm.
Wow.
Bench warmers.
Yeah. That is a good choice.
That's a better one.
That is the best choice you've made all night.
And in 1972,
I almost remember that year.
I was born.
Drew
I was born.
Bledsoe was born.
So he's a year younger than me. And my career is on podcast line longer than his.
Right? He does make some mean wine, I hear.
We're almost to 100.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we at with episodes?
Like 98.
98.
Whoa, we got to do something
Ooh.
for 100.
We got to do next week's got to be something in honor
know,
of Wayne
I've-
Gretzky.
I've been telling him that for like the last 2 months.
9 times.
Do what?
I won't
Do
be
something
here
for
for
the
100.
Do something for the 100th episode
9
and do
times.
something for the 2-year
I
anniversary.
might.
Are we at 98?
90, I think.
9 times.
No, I will be here for
9
100.
times.
I won't be for 101.
101, I might not be here either.
Well, I'll be in Florida.
I might be in Florida.
I will be in Florida.
I probably will be in Florida, but I'm going to be killing stuff.
You know, me too.
I might too. It depends on what gets in my way.
Oh, you're
I'm going to be
not
doing
even
it
in
with.
Florida. You already sound like
I'm going to
some
be doing it
people.
with an assault rifle.
That just sounds like a normal day in Florida.
Yes, please.
So closing thoughts? Or we got other things?
I would like to say,
Oh,
man, those 2 hole-in-ones on the 16th hole.
I already talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Ah,
I
beat
just
you to the
wasn't here.
punch.
Those just looked amazing.
Oh my God.
Did they or no? You're messing around.
Are
No,
you
I mean,
not
serious.
watching our show?
No, I haven't for like the last month.
You should be listening on the way. So you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Got more important things than this.
Teasing your hair.
That's the funniest
Your
thing
mom-
you said the whole night.
Your mom get you a rat comb.
And that's the only truthful thing you said. I did too, but yeah.
But he's still here.
I guess if I was dating a high school cheerleader, I'd be doing that too.
Florida.
I'm going to be in Florida
She's coming home right now.
with an assault rifle.
Can I show you something?
Jesus.
I was just smelling.
Okay, so closing thoughts.
All right.
Let's get to them. Ed, start.
All right. I'm going to really bring the place down now.
Burning
There's
down
a
the
lot
house.
there. There's a
So-
lot.
Daryl Brooks, the terrorist who ran over a bunch of people because of their skin color, pleaded not guilty to the 77 charges against him. His lawyers requested a change of venue because he couldn't get a fair trial because thousands of people witnessed Daryl run over a bunch of people. Hello. Mind-boggling. You can't charge my guy. Too many people saw him do the crime.
He also cut his
He's
hair
innocent.
too. They said he cut his hair to also help with his face.
Yeah, because leave it at that.
They bought him a suit like Aaron Rodgers. At all.
It's corduroy.
Did you see Aaron Rodgers' suit at the NFL?
It was lovely.
Oh, it's terrible.
Was it?
He actually had a Triceratops video too after that.
You know what? It's cheeky and funny. If you ever see Kevin Costner in Bull Durham?
Yeah.
it's pretty much that, you know, until you make it to the show and accomplish anything, you're just a slob, you know. And that's kind of where Rogers
You don't
is.
wear
really,
shower
you know?
shoes.
Yeah, when you don't wear your shower shoes type thing. That's kind of where Rogers is. When you're not winning anything, and you try to be all cool and weird, you're just or you're just not cool and weird. Yeah.
Number 45, Russell Westbrook. 46, Chris Middleton. Willie.
Wait, no, you haven't. You just got to go with the East.
Oh, I'm
you still
sorry.
gotta do the West.
Willie, 47.
I think my
You still gotta do
sister,
the West.
I think my sister can dribble better than Middleton. Are you sure you want to put him that high?
Yeah, I've seen her. She's really good, actually.
Yeah, she would have messed up in the All-Star show.
And she should play soccer this year.
Willie, go ahead.
That's how he pulls
yeah.
That's it.
Oh, Middleton.
One more.
Go ahead.
Oh, geez. Let's go backwards. Let's start over. Honorable mention.
This one, this one I made up myself. It was in honor of you guys. This came up a couple weeks ago. I forgot to cut the lawn, and Peter Dinklage accused me of sexual harassment because the grass was thick on his balls.
But it's winter.
I know it doesn't really work. But,
Winter's coming.
You should save that. Write yourself a note to save that for
I'll
July.
just leave it on here.
Winter's coming. Wasn't he in that show, The Game of Thrones? Or
You want to hear a
something
joke
like
about pussy willows?
No, that's my joke.
What's the joke?
You never heard the joke?
It's just a little joke. It's just a little one.
It's a little one. Go ahead, Willie.
that?
89.
I'm still looking forward to curling this week. Hopefully, both U.S. teams make it to the gold medal championship. I'll be up at 1:30 in the morning watching the curling match.
Well, usually you got 1:30 to read the paper and eat breakfast anyway, so you're good.
You are correct, sir.
Dinner at 2 p.m.
Yep. 12 hours after dinner.
Matlock at 4.
He's got to have his morning prune juice too.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to update. He watched Three's Company.
Did you know all the gold
yeah,
girls didn't
sorry.
like Betty White? I heard this.
Really?
Yeah,
That's why they're all dead.
because she would make fun of
Actually,
who was
funny.
the
I don't know
youngest
why.
one on the show. Actually,
Was it
Estelle Getty.
Estelle
Better than
Getty.
the youngest,
She could never remember her lines, so she used to write them on her hand, and Betty White used to pick on her about it.
Oh, so they didn't like Betty.
So Rue McClanahan and B. Arthur goes, "That bitch."
wow.
And that's why Betty White lived the longest out of them.
Mm-hmm. B. Arthur would scare me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was frightening.
B. Arthur is
That's a man,
B.
baby.
Arthur is original Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Which one was she?
How many
She the
times?
The
tall one?
Tall one.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
Maud.
old-
Kind of mean one. Never smiled.
she always had in all the roasts. Her name came up quite a bit from Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, she was at that one. She was at the
She
one.
was at two of them where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, B. Arthur's.
Well,
dick.
they-
She didn't know what she got into. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just looked very shocked.
Nah,
so-
she's like, she was edgy though, B. Arthur, because when she was
She wore
Maud,
pantsuits.
when she was Maud, she she was divorced or whatever. She got an abortion on there, and then what was the other thing they
And
did?
she was married to Arthur.
Yeah, there were like 3 things that were some of the first ever on TV
Good for her.
on Maud. She normalized
She worked in Arthur stayed
deviant
at home.
behavior by heathens. No, I don't know.
Eh.
So yeah, she was a way progressed way ahead of her time.
So Michael's not. I don't know. Good week.
Great
You
show.
want to close your thought? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Bombs away.
you're talking about Ukraine?
Yeah. They're saying it's going to start on Wednesday.
Yeah, we got it. Did you guys get your tickets? No, I mean they're like saying it's going to happen Wednesday.
That's what happened after Biden got off the phone with him, is what people said, that he wants to start by Wednesday.
I like how they schedule wars nowadays. So CNN can get all their guys over there.
Can you fit this in?
Wolf Blitzer's like, shit, I got honey, pack my bag. There's gonna be a war in 2 days.
He's got
Get my airplane pillow. The log flight.
The one that wraps around your neck.
Won't tell anybody, but I got my pillow.
Did you guys hear about the flight from LA to DC? And some guy tried to get to the
Adrian Peterson.
tried to break into the cockpit, and the steward, I guess one of the people walked up there with a coffee pot and smacked him in the head, knocked him out.
Oh, that's awesome. I love
Isn't that great?
That's good. They have coffee pots.
we need more
Oh,
people
yeah.
like that in America.
I want to buy that coffee pot. Put it right up there next to Ed.
Yeah. If I can get Antonio Brown's glove that he threw in the stands on eBay, why can't I get that on eBay?
You talk about planes like that. My buddy just just flew back today. We dropped him off at the airport. He was in town and did a bunch of ice fishing and hunting. He left Tampa on Friday. They got out on the runway. He texted me at like 8 a.m, said, "We're leaving right now. We're pulling on the runway. So be there to pick us up." Luckily, we didn't leave. He didn't even come. That was 8 a.m. He didn't get here until like 11:40 at night. At night, they were on the run.
Drive the plane here.
They can't let him sit.
Seriously,
They can't let him sit in that long.
Right hand signal. I'm gonna pass. No
Listen to
passing
this.
zone.
Has this ever happened to you guys? They got on the runway, throttled up, went halfway down the runway, locked it up, and went back to the terminal.
What was wrong?
Broken plane.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Ugh.
It was his girlfriend's first flight ever. I was like, dude, that's never even happened to me ever on all the flights I've
That's
taken.
crazy.
Wow.
So then they had to get a different flight. But that's when he said flight. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
The only thing I've dealt with is de-icing.
That's scary.
No, the de-icing.
Key West, I dealt with the wind. Couldn't take off because the wind's blowing a certain way.
Oh,
because small runway.
You have to fly into the wind too.
It's a little one.
Well,
was it getting hard because the wind was blowing?
Oh Jesus!
We couldn't leave Honduras one time because there was a coup.
A dove was on the runway?
Yeah, coup. We're sitting there.
Wow.
I swear, we get our tickets and you got to like walk to the airport, and it was just a bench, and you're sitting there.
Were you a bench warmer?
Nothing going on, no plane, nothing. And we knew there was an election. We're like, oh fuck. Sure shit, about 2 hours late, this plane shows up. They had to make sure that they could still fly with the government like being overthrown and everything. We're like, you got to be
Schwarzenegger
kidding me.
pops out. Get the chopper.
I think everything. I don't think it was like an actual coup, but it was not. It was an overturn of the government type thing. Like
Yeah,
that's
they knew
great.
you were coming to town.
Yeah.
That was like this.
No, we didn't know what to do.
Wait, translation? Middleton's the best. That's what he's saying.
I heard that too.
Totally.
I'm bilingual.
You talk duck.
I got him at like 57 right now.
That was a green wing teal.
I'm working on it.
He's not even top 30 in college.
Dennis Schroeder.
Oh my!
I don't think Middleton would start on the Knicks. To
Oh.
be honest, I don't think he'd
You
start on the
shut
Knicks.
your mouth when you're talking to
Did
me.
you see this?
What is this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did see it. It said at the end of the NFL season, it'd be like soccer. The winner of the XFL championship should play the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And then if the NFL, whoever wins that game gets to go to the pro, stay in the pros, and the other team gets relegated.
Yeah,
to
what do
the
they call it?
XFL. Relegation.
Relegation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
That's what Ted
awesome?
Lasso,
In
yeah.
soccer, the bottom 4 teams get kicked out, and the winners from each league jump in.
I mean, we're going a little long here. I still do. I have 2 ideas though for the NFL. One of them,
I thought we did closing statements.
I
already.
know we already did it, but I think the Super Bowl winning city should get the Super Bowl like 3 years later as a reward for winning.
Yeah.
To make them try and win and get all that money.
Well, but
So
then-
instead of LA's just giving a Super Bowl or Tampa's,
But you
just-
have to be domed or
Yeah, but
something.
like,
You'd have
no,
to
Green
be.
Bay win.
nope, tough shit.
No, I'd like to see the Super Bowl played in Green Bay.
We
Well,
saw
like, imagine it being
would be.
Foxborough for all
The
those
players
years.
wouldn't want to play
Then
there.
beat them.
Rodgers doesn't want
The
to play there.
players don't want to play.
We talked about that.
For all the players don't want to play in that weather. They do not want to play in that weather.
I know.
Well, we
Don't.
talked about that. You're not going to get your best performance on that one.
No.
We get our best performance under 90 degree
Well, then
weather.
we had it in New York
Yeah.
once, remember?
Yeah, they
But
got
it ended
lucky.
up
It was
being
like 45.
they lucked out.
That was the year that
Peyton Manning snap over the head.
that was the year the Hawks whooped up on the Broncos.
Yeah.
43
to like 14.
It would give everybody,
8 or something. Weird number.
It was
It was a scoregasm.
instead of everybody just cutting the season, they would be trying to win all the time every year.
We would have owners
It's
paying
a lot of
coaches to
money.
lose.
And then this one's way better. Replace the Pro Bowl with a skills and video game competition. Do stupid skills, and shit like that. Stuff that's fun though. Weird skills. Yeah, I don't know what you could do, but do stuff like offensive linemen pushing a car, or something stupid, or
I don't know if anyone would do that though.
Would the video game
They don't
players
even
come
wanna
out and
tackle each other
hang
in
out
the
in your
Pro Bowl.
house?
that's what I
and
mean. But
mess
then
your
have a
house up?
video game, yeah,
Like real little.
Nah, meatloaf. No.
playing Madden. Have them all play Madden. Whatever you get. How many guys are in the Pro Bowl? 50 or 40, whatever.
I
it
think
is.
they should make it like football.
Well, that might be. I mean,
Well,
honestly, that would be
It's
more
bad
interesting.
now,
Sort
they're
of do
saying.
like
Injury-wise.
do like the NHL, like do a 7-on-7 thing. Even
I mean, it would be interesting. You got to do something different. This is garbage.
like
Turning
the
into
NHL
But
does
to be
3-on-3
honest,
now.
NHL and NBA, they're all figuring the same way. NBA don't play.
That's
No.
this weekend.
That's why
But
it's cool.
but at
Anyways,
least
It's
there's
going to be 172 to like 160 the final
but at least
score.
there's some action going
Yeah,
on.
they're still taking shots. They're still dunking. And stuff like that.
yeah, guys pulling it from half.
They
court.
got they've
More
got to do
fun, yeah.
something. It's come and gone. Nobody is interested in it.
You know what they should do that week?
Sorry, I got like 7 last thoughts.
The bottom two teams.
They'll
or
never do it.
Bottom two teams play each other. for
They'll
the number
never
one
do
pick.
it. Because you know why? Why do I want to play? I win a game to give you something that might take my job. It makes no sense.
It'd be fun to watch.
Oh, great. I had a great team as a quarterback. Guess what? We're drafting to replace him next week. Good job. It will never work. There's no guy's going to go out there and risk himself for someone to get drafted. There's no way. It'll never happen.
So basically, they're watching the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, no, it'll never happen. Okay, good week, guys. Thanks a lot for everybody here, for Eric, Willie, Ed, and Dumpster Jace. Once again, no Kyler Murray night. He's busy.
Oh shit! I said too much.
Yep, he's packing stools.
I already thought he was here, but I just couldn't see him.
Have a good night, guys.
I hate goodbyes. Sorry, folks. Park's closed.
What happened? I blacked out.
Because we did something today that no one thought we could do, including us. So we're going out, we're celebrating, and we're going to rub it in this city's face.
I swear I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was awesome.
Bye, Felicia. Kids, there's Big Ben and there's Parliament.
I'd give him more buys than highs.
Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
Feels